Happy Friday, Internet friends. Adam Green here with No More News. Thank you for joining me today. Friday, May 8th, 2026. Amalek is here. We've got alien UFO disclosure, demons confirmed updates to go through with Representatives Paulina Lee and Boebert and Joe Rogan, some other congressman on with Joe Rogan talking aliens, some Fox News reports. We're going to go over what appears to be a coordinated assault and coup on America First and Nick Fuentes from many big JQ influencers. We've got some Wes Huff and Christian apologetics Slop. What up, Amalek? Sound like a good show, right?
Yep, I'm ready for it.
What better topics?
Some of my favorite topics. When I saw this new alien thing, I got a punching bag in my room, right? I just stood up and boom, banged it. This is so ridiculous. How do people not see this? Well, we'll see. Also, I think the sound's not working for me. I think you got to play it through my thing.
Oh, that's right. I'll turn it on right now.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, and we're also going to turn on the Power Chat, powerchat.live/no-more-news, pinned to the top of the live chat. The only thing that supports the show, every dollar helps. If we hit the goal today, we got a new goal sound effects that I am going to unleash on you guys. So no show yesterday also. We did 2 the day before with the Zoom call. But let's start with this first video shared by Representative swimsuit model Anna Paulina Luna, who has been heavy pushing the Book of Enoch stuff. She retweeted her "Go read the Book of Enoch" tweet the other day too, I noticed. And now she says this. She said, "There will be more files released to include our request of the 40-plus files. I talked to the Pentagon last night." Let's see the Fox News report out today.
Fox News alert.
Turning it on.
Administration releasing the first batch of files related to UFOs and alien life.
So is the truth really out there?
Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy joins us live with the details. What have you learned, Peter?
Good morning. So a White House official left this hard drive on my desk overnight. You can see on it, it says AARO files copy 2 of 3. That is the all domain resolution office copy 2 of 3. This is the first big batch of UFO disclosure ordered by President Trump. Some of the clips and videos on there have popped up different places before. Some of them have not. And we have been going through this all morning.
You know it's legit when all the politicians and Fox News and the Christian pastor secret meetup and Joe Rogan and the podcast circuit are all pushing it. Definitely not a kosher Bible psyop going on here. Merkava maxing. Yeah, alien maxing. Thank you. Dude, are we not fallen angel?
It's just like the Epstein first release, right? It's like the same disclosure there.
Disclosure day.
And overnight to try to put together some of the best videos so we can all look at this together. This is a world exclusive right here. So let's go to the first clip over the skies of the United Arab Emirates in June 2024. An inverted teardrop with a vertically linear trailing mass, as described by the War Department, suspended below. The War Department cannot say for sure what this is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. The next video, over the skies of Iraq, December 2022, moving bottom left to top right of the field of view.
These are old videos, by the way.
It looks like a drone. Yeah, this looks like the videos they've been showing going around for years. Why are we supposed to be super impressed by this?
What was it called? The Kabul. It was called something. It was called the Kabul sphere or something like that. I'll look it up in a second here.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are
Chat says reptilians are releasing the files on the aliens. Yeah, pretty much.
CENTCOM gets from this is an area of contrast. That's what they describe it as. It is officially still listed as an unresolved UAP report. Next video.
We'll do that one in a
over
second.
the skies of Greece, October 2023. What is described as a small and circular UAP.
Pair sent $20. Welcome back, Amalek. More kitty shekels.
Thank you for the kitty shekels. We got the kitty cam. We need to get a new cam right next to her face.
Oh, I didn't even see the kitty deck back there. That's so funny.
The kitty cam, yeah. The other day, I held her a lot of the show and like didn't move around a lot, didn't do my rabbi wobble, and my back was wrecked afterwards. I have to get more movement.
The development of a fetus in a womb is an example of some type of evolution which would possibly back up the evolution of the species.
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, I kind of missed what you said there. Are we? Number one, Goiper. Welcome back. Oh wait, I don't see where it's at. That's weird.
Key, flying near the surface of the ocean towards land. CENTCOM can't tell us what it is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report.
That is also an old
Within
video.
the last
This is
2
crazy.
minutes, all of these videos have gone live on war.gov/UFO, and a White House official tells Fox first.
Dude, that looks like it's could be like a bird or something.
Discredit or dissuade the American people. President Trump is focused on
These are
providing
so weak.
maximum transparency to the public, who can ultimately make up their own minds about the information contained in these files. And there's also a fresh look at some historical records. There's this from Apollo 17 included in this big document dump. One of the astronauts says, we've got a few very bright particles or fragments or something that go drifting by as we maneuver. The control center says,
wait, we saw that. We saw that on Artemis just right now when they would break apart, detach things, or when they would release the pee, like you'd see particles going out. Remember? It's probably the same thing.
Roger, understood.
Yeah.
Another astronaut says, there's a whole bunch of big ones on my window down there, just bright. It looks like the 4th of
Thanks for all of your work, Adam.
Thank you guys for being here, making it possible. You guys, I think they're excited about the if we hit the goal sound clip.
Out of Ron's window. Another astronaut says, yes, now you can see some of them in shape. They're very jagged, angular fragments that are tumbling. This exchange has long been dismissed.
That looks exactly like what we saw on Artemis. Remember we talked about it. You saw, right? The sparkling things.
Yeah.
Like, what are those?
Yeah.
It's some like weird space phenomena or something.
Floating insulation.
It's certainly not
Now
like
the
evidence
White
of what
House
they're
is
saying.
Yeah, not UFO aliens. They're talking about the little spark things that were around their spaceship that we saw.
saying, while this photo has been previously released,
Demon particles
discussed by
confirmed,
keen
right.
observers, there is no consensus about the nature of the anomaly. And this all started, of course, because we asked the president about it in February.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know,
So aliens are real.
well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. Well, he made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it.
So the government is trying to answer the question, do aliens...
You see, that type of answer only fed the conspiracies a little bit more. Because that kind of implies like, hey, Obama's exposing that there really are aliens and that's classified. So everybody thinks, oh, the aliens are real. Right? With that type of an answer.
He's also really, it just shows he's like he doesn't even think. It's just like a natural reaction, instinctual for him to react as a political actor. He knows right away, as soon as they brought up Obama like that he should use it as a way of, attacking him, a way of pointing out like the classified documents, hypocrisy and all that stuff. So it is funny. Like Trump doesn't even think about this stuff, right? Like, I don't know, maybe his aides told him beforehand that question was coming, but it is interesting.
It's like, they came after Trump,
ego, right?
Yeah, they came after Trump for having classified documents, so he probably wanted to throw that back in Obama's face.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look, this is probably the particles that they were talking about on Apollo 17, not alien spaceships. When they detached, I don't know what it could be. I'll have to look it up, maybe.
Exist. The answer is they don't know, but in an effort of transparency, they are giving us all of the material that they are working with. As
I can't stand his voice, and I hated his dad.
And so I'm actually...
All right, now here's her latest one. Tomorrow will be good, she writes yesterday. That's today. And what do we get? Nothing burger clips that we've seen before? Nothing that
I think...
Yeah, I'm flipping through it while this is going on, and every single one I've seen so far is old clips. I haven't seen one. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the clips from this stuff. I've looked into it a lot. I know people who are into this and send me stuff all the time, and every single one of these clips so far is from 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago when there was that dump. So
Yeah, they're going to give you nothing legitimate, and then everybody is just going to run with it. The demons are confirmed now, and we got to believe in Jesus, exactly like I thought was going to happen. It's all hype and a narrative being formed around it. That's all that matters.
I think that Grush, when I had talked to him on whether these were specifically extraterrestrials or alien in origin, he said interdimensional. He refused to use certain terms, and I think that's incredibly important because I think that that's really the question we're all wanting to know, right? And so I'm actually going to have a sit-down conversation with him and ask him to come back and talk to us directly, because it seems that we are getting more information from the source than going into a skiff and then not being able to tell you guys what we're talking about.
Is this stuff that we just as humans might not be able to understand if it's interdimensional?
I think that we can understand it. I think that it's just it's an approach, right? I mean, like,
and is it crazy that Trump got us in a war with like no victory in sight almost, and we got all these congressmen dominating the news cycle talking about these alien clips right now. Talk about a distraction. This is,
remember, we just
priorities.
First time in history really had Congress have whistleblowers come forward credible that we're telling the entire world that there is.
They can just spin this up every like couple months.
Yeah, they've basically been kind of teasing this stuff for a while now.
Rush said that those were interdimensional beings. He refused to use extraterrestrial and alien. I think that's important to know. I think
what? Hold on, you hear that?
Grush said that those were interdimensional beings, that there is something other than human life forms. Grush said that those were interdimensional beings. He refused to use extraterrestrial and alien. I think that's important.
Grush said they're interdimensional beings. Is that this guy? Is this Grush? No, that's Tim Burchett. That's the guy that also was just on Rogan talking about it.
Dirt Gang Arizona sent $10 on Rumble. We was aliens.
We was aliens. No. Maybe transpermia. Here's another one they showed. Real spooky music. Dude, this doesn't look like an alien spaceship to me. It looks like it's locked onto something, and the plane or drone or whatever is like flying and it's parallaxing.
And none of this is evidence for aliens, I don't think.
This is trash. Imagine being impressed by that.
It's more likely some sort of like technical artifacting on the camera or some sort of debris or something like that.
Sent $5 on Rumble. At Vote Animus, happy Mother's Day to Mrs.
Yes. We have a little tradition of strawberry picking on Mother's Day. They all love it a lot. Take some nice pictures. Pick them and eat them at some strawberry farm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm convinced. I believe it. Actually, they're out there, and we need to pray to God to save us from these alien demons.
Help me, Jewish God!
Well, let's see. We haven't even seen the craziest one yet. The angel one. Here we go. This is another one they just released.
Of course, RT's promoting this too, by the way.
Yes. Thank you for noting that. Oh wait, that's not RT though, but
Here,
they are in a different one.
Here, I'll just hit enter. I just put it in the.
There's the RT one.
You got it, okay.
Congresswoman Luna posts ophonym right after Pentagon declassified eerie 8-pointed star UFO. Yeah, of course, RT is promoting it. Dude. Flying angels in the sky? Ezekiel's chariot? A wheel within a wheel covered in eyes and wings?
So freaking, dude, it's
or just some type of lens anomaly. It looks like there's smoke. It has a smoke trail. Dude, this could be like a fucking any type of flying thing, and then with a weird lens that's out of focus. This looks like an out of focus effect it's having. But according to,
I just don't think, like, I don't know, like if this kind of stuff is real, like it's not like these like grainy footage things are not convincing at all. It needs to be far more evidence, because it is a major claim to claim that an alien has visited our planet and our government's aware of it and covering it up and like all these other things. So yeah, I need far more than this. And what the problem is like, even if you take any of these surface level things and say, oh, maybe there is something to this, as soon as you go beneath that surface, it's very clear that it is all like a psyop grift, the quote unquote whistleblowers about it, and the all of the things around it are all coming out of the government disinformation campaigns. So
speaking of RT promoting it, did you see this?
Grainy image maxing sent $10.
Forever grainy.
Forever.
Yeah. To believe in UFOs, you would need to see like a clear, like Independence Day UFO coming in, and like a whole city sees it at the same time. They all point their cameras at it. Then I would believe that there's UFOs. But all of these, it's just like, oh, it was picked up by some, surveillance thing, or one person saw it, and it's the grainiest, weirdest looking photo, and it's not even impressive at all. And look at this, Ben Swan now, RT show, used to have an RT show, interviewing this total alien grifting kook, Corey Good, the one that worked a lot with the Wilcox guy that just committed suicide. This guy is such a crank. He claims so much bullshit stuff and then got called on it. I saw the interrogation he got for a court case where I think he was charged with lying. So, of course, Ben Swan's promoting that kook. But yeah, here's Devin's, I knew it, they're UFOs. Look at it, guys. Now are we scared? Now is it real? Yeah, look at the trail, dude. It's like it's spitting out exhaust. Do angels have exhaust from gas-powered engines?
Yeah, and maybe I think that's totally possible that they do. This is not enough evidence. This could be 100 other things other than intelligent life tracking one of our planes, or however they got this footage from. It could be 100 different other things other than that. So to just like be able to point to this and say like, oh well, we know it's true. I don't know.
Yeah, none of this are even like impressive maneuvers or anything. This looks like something somebody built. The path that it's doing and the way it's flying looks like somebody could have built it in the garage or something. Some weird type of flying thing. Carlin's in the chat. The world-renowned communist exposer and infiltrator Carlin Boyasenko says, "Don't ruin aliens, you assholes."
Sorry.
All right, let's see. What else do we got? Okay, this is out today, too. Lauren Boebert. How do you say her name? Boebert.
Boebert.
Okay.
I think it has a hard T after the hand job thing. I don't think you could pronounce it with the soft like French T after that. She lost her Boebert privileges after that.
God is the creator of the universe. He's never not going to create. So it's always been something in my mind to say, well, how can we be the only ones? Like, God's not going to stop creating just with us. But the more I look into this, the more I see the Old Testament and what was told to us there of fallen angels and Nephilim. I mean, this is in the Bible. There's nothing that says that.
This is in the Bible. Dude, how do these people govern us? How are these the ones in charge and in leading our country?
Fallen angels that Nephilim.
Imagine like wanting to side with this politically, like, and you're a smart person.
Yeah.
Everyone. Listen, right now, everyone, just close your eyes and imagine you are a successful, quality person with a job and a family. You're making good money. Okay, all these things are happening in your world, and everything is super successful. And then someone says, "What's your politics?" Imagine saying it's related in any way to this stuff. It scares intelligent, quality, smart people away from these types of politics when they are associated with these types of ideas. It is so important to understand this.
This is everything I've been covering on my show for so long since this is happening, epitomized right here.
Fallen angels that Nephilim just disappeared. And so I believe that this could be an aspect of it. You know, there are things that we have seen that could resemble portals. And, you know, I mean, we serve an infinite God, a God of the universe. And to say that this is the only realm is ignorant. And so what I've seen, I wouldn't, you know, put it as, you know, Marvin the Martian kind of thing. But I do believe that this is more spiritual. And if you really want to go there, demonic. God is the creator.
Demonic invasion, guys. Pray. Please pray. Jesus, Lord Jesus, can you save us from the demon, alien, UFOs? Please, Jesus. Dude, the fact that there's so many politicians and huge influential podcasters all promoting this, like in unison, the average Joe Schmo out there and gullible goyim is just going to think this is completely real, dude. The government's saying it. All the Fox News is saying it. Dude, Tucker and everybody's...
If this is a religion, how many people believe in this religion? Seriously, what percentage of the country believes in this is basically a religion? It has got to be one of the largest religions in the entire country. This is crazy. So many people believe in like this ancient aliens thing, and it didn't just come out of nowhere. By the way, this has been like a slow building of into what we see today with the ancient alien stuff and the what's his name? Stitchins and all these types of figures for the last 100 years plus have basically been like laying the foundations for this mythos, for this, you know, what we're I mean, I think they might try to do it, right? Like they might try to do some sort of Operation Blue Beam, however you want to describe this, like fake alien invasion encounter. You know, you said earlier, like, oh, it would have to be everyone saw it in the sky for you to believe it. I don't even know if I could give that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if I could grant that to what's going on at this point, because they have so laid the groundwork for this narrative.
Yeah.
They're really going to do
Rogan.
this.
I'm not sure if this is new. They posted it yesterday. I think this might be an old one. But let's just hear Rogan a little bit also. Most influential podcaster. Let's go.
You know, she came on my podcast too, and she was telling me some stuff that was just like mind blowing. And she really got me to read the Book of Enoch. She's like, you got to read that.
So you have the Ethiopian Orthodox text, which has, I think, 88 books of the Bible.
Okay, we've watched this so many times. I don't want to watch it
And the
again.
Book of Enoch's in there.
There you go.
Like, what are they talking about? What are you talking about? The Watchers came down and they mated with humans and they created a race that...
Dude, it's like the biggest conspiracy theory being pushed is just that like Jewish mysticism and Jewish demons and Book of Enoch is all real. Ezekiel is real now. Jewish mysticism, Merkava, Proto-Kabbalah is pushed everywhere.
Well, the other thing too is it's just like these are like Mesopotamian stories that predate the Bible, basically. So it's like an even older genre. So you know, a lot of them use that as to say something along the lines of like, oh, it's so old, there must be some semblance of truth to it. But if you think about like the ancient civilizations, their like concept of consciousness was so incredibly different from ours that you can't even really understand. That they didn't really like when lightning happened, when things happened, like they almost had to attribute it to a supernatural force, because they didn't even have like anything remotely close to the perspective of an understanding that we do today. So it makes sense that they have these type of stories to kind of explain their origin that involved, you know, weird things and things like that. You know, even today we have people saying like, oh, you know, I saw a UFO, you know, I saw a UFO in my own life and things like that, having their own stories. So it makes total sense that like, you know, ancient people, primitive civilizations had these types of myths and stories. That's not evidence that it's true. Old equals true is not a good argument.
No, not at all. The older it is and the more fantastical it is, the more likely it's just made up nonsense. But Rogan's like, what did they know? The Watchers? Oh, bro, you ever read the Book of Enoch on weed, man? All right, here he is with Representative Tim Burchett. He's this other kook that's been talking about this stuff a lot, quite frankly. Let's hear some of his latest. This is just out today or yesterday, I mean.
Usually this is the week of some kind of disclosure. Can you give us any insight as to what's going on?
Oddly enough, I got a call that tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'm going to be briefed over the phone by, I think one of Hedseth's top dogs is going to go over some stuff with me that they've got, and I have no earthly idea. I don't want everybody to get their hopes up. I don't have a lot of faith in our government. President Trump's always been great to me. He's never lied to me, but I don't know that he knows the right questions to ask and the right people to talk to, because, I mean, this thing's been covered up at least since 1947, and I just don't think they're gonna.
Roswell, are we saying Roswell is real? Is that what he means by 47?
They don't give up that easy. The war pimps at the Pentagon and everybody else, they just don't give up that easy.
How so much of this is like actually just like black budget, like them getting military defense spending that's off books and things like that. That's what I think so much of this is, and it makes me wonder, like, what I'm not saying, oh, that's going to Israel directly or anything like that, but what kind of weapons and things like that are they developing? And then just like there's like a cross pollination between the two kind of going on, where they're coming up and developing weapons through this type of stuff. It's almost like what we're seeing is like the outer layers of covering something like that up. But like I said, I'm not saying that it is Israel, but for sure we know that our defense contractors are taking advantage of our government with this type of thing.
Yeah. Secret program, secret testing, secret spacecraft, undoubtedly.
And I don't think Trump knows. I mean, these people have kept this stuff secret. Here's another thing. I was in one meeting, and a guy said, what about the president on this? And he said, the president's on a need-to-know basis. Now, that's a federal employee saying that he or she has information
people just lie.
The president is not allowed to see.
That's not what it means. It means it's not important. There's nothing there, so they're not wasting his time with it. That's what it means.
Big swing.
He knows about it, but Trump doesn't. Okay. Yeah. This guy, dude, you know this guy's just a total Bible brain too. Just know it. You can tell.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're working with here. Keep that in mind.
Just was aghast, man. I said, that's the kind of crap you see on the Sci-Fi Network or something.
Right.
But that'd be the title of my book. I mean, that ought to tell you right there that this thing is a cover up. And it's kind of like MK Ultra. I don't think we're going to get they're not going to tell us everything. I really don't. I don't think they're going to give us half of what we should get.
But you think we're going to get something?
I think we'll get something.
Do you know Hal Puthoff? You know Hal Puthoff?
Do what?
Do you know Hal Puthoff?
No, I don't.
Do you know who he is?
I thought you were how put off you are right
now.
No. I was like, how put off are you?
Hal Puthoff was in the documentary as well. He was in the Age of Disclosure, and he was a guest on the podcast. And one of the things...
Oh, look, this one's already been debunked. Imagine that. The image was actually released and analyzed 2 years ago as simple light diffraction spikes. New York Post promoted it. Mysterious footage captures peculiar ink-pointed star.
Big Swag Fella sent $5 on Rumble. Christian solution to the Fermi paradox. The universe is actually full of demons.
It's not, though.
Secret Himmler sent $15. I put a lot of conspiracy theories in secret, but aliens weren't one of them. Too crazy even for me. Hope you enjoy the book.
I hope so too. Thank you.
There's not a lot of sample footage.
Okay, let's see.
So I just looked it up real quick, by the way. He's a member of the Presbyterian Church of America, and he is a strong opposition to Hamas and complete support for Israel's right to self-defense and determination. And he calls anybody who blames Israel as useful idiots for terrorists. He said he introduced House Resolution 1323, rejecting the UN's placement of the Israel Defense Forces on a list of child rights abusers, calling it a total joke and an anti-Semitic double standard. He stressed that the U.S. support for Israel on, quote, wiping these terrorist Hamas off the face of the map. And he says...
Sounds like a real smart guy.
Well, listen, ready for this? I said, is his church a dispensationalist church? It says, absolutely not. The Presbyterian Church of America is not a dispensationalist denomination. And in fact, here are many, I just got a bunch of them arguing between them them and dispensationalists. So again, we have another pro-Zionist, psyop-induced, retarded person who earnestly believes this stuff. He actually believes in the Christianity. He actually is a Presbyterian. He's not a dispensationalist, and he's full-throated for Israel, even the one introducing the House resolution bills. This problem is not dispensationalism. It's our people's like brains are cooked on this stuff, guys, and we've got to like realize that that's part of the problem. Like we can't ignore it, you know.
Let's see the debunk on the angel, the
of a spiky UFO
Anna
was really
Paulina Luna angel. Dude, how irresponsible of her and her office to have her tweeting that when this shit's already debunked.
Are embarrassing us in front of the aliens.
They are in front of the Jews. They're embarrassing us in front of the Jews.
Did you see the Jews saying that people are freaking out? Like, if the aliens come, they're probably gonna take the Jews' side and things like that. And the Jews are like, oh, that's a W. They're saying like that's a W for us. W aliens. Who do you think the Jews or the aliens will side with?
$5 on Rumble. Adam argue with astronaut Edgar Mitchell, Apollo 14, who is from Roswell, New Mexico. He knew many of the witnesses personally.
I'd have to look into it, but something's not right there, I can tell you. Roswell, it was a huge exaggeration too. I've seen that. Even the whole finding the story around that is a bunch of bullshit.
It's called chandelier because apparently this is what a chandelier looks like if you lay on a table and look up at one. When I first saw it, I recognized it looked rather like a diffraction artifact. Bright lights or heat sources often have a star-shaped diffraction pattern around them. This can vary a lot by camera, lighting conditions and the settings, but generally depends on the shape of the aperture and the configuration of support vanes in a compound mirror telescope. On Metabunk, Flarkey recognized the camera as a Raytheon MTS-B, and we see that does indeed have the support vanes in the main camera. There's not a lot of sample footage, but we do see diffraction spikes. But what are these weird club or arrow-shaped spikes? They do look odd. But in a video about the MQ-9 Reaper with a similar camera, I noticed a diffraction pattern that also had clubbed spikes. We also see from the lens flare that it has a square or diamond-shaped aperture, which is probably
it's
related.
just clear it's a lens flare.
John Phil published an analysis on Metabunk. Using the Masculator software, he used images of the camera to create an input mask, which is then used to calculate the expected diffraction pattern. John also noticed a crucial point. The veins on the MTS
It's the sun
are apodizing, meaning they are a bit wavy. Putting that info into the Masculator gives a diffraction pattern that has the odd club or arrow shapes. It was lacking the horizontal and vertical spikes, but those are a consequence of a square aperture. If we calculate that diffraction pattern and then add them together, we get something that looks very much like the chandelier.
Okay, debunked.
Away. Path. Reason to suspect. Cool story? But as in so many cases, the
debunked 2 years ago. Womp womp. That easy.
During the Bush administration, they brought in him and a bunch of other scientists and thought leaders, and what was explained to him was that they are considering disclosure and that there have been visits of these super intelligent beings from somewhere else, that we have retrieved crashed vehicles, and that we have biological remains.
That's correct.
And we are talking about disclosing. We would like you to make a list of all the ways that it'll negatively affect society and all the ways that it'll positively affect society, and attach a numerical value to these things. And they all did it, and every one of them said the negatives far outweigh the positives in terms of the impact on government, the impact on the economy, religion, all these different factors, and how it would disrupt society. And in the end, they decided not to disclose.
Yeah, I've heard that many times. I just don't buy it.
You don't buy it?
I don't buy it. I mean, I don't
buy it. Evolution, we came from monkeys. I just don't buy it. That's what it sounds like to me when I hear him say that.
I know all those guys now that you mentioned it. I was in the movie, of course, and I met them all afterwards. But I just don't buy that. I think we should know. Let us know. Let us decide.
No, I believe that too, but I wonder what that meeting was like and whether or not they were being truthful to these people or whether it was a thought experiment.
Allegedly, when they told Jimmy Carter, he cried.
That's what I heard too.
It was, I won't go into all of it, but I was in a meeting.
What would make him cry?
I don't know. He's a very sensitive guy. But
I understand, but I mean, like,
he was also,
I cried when I saw Old Yeller.
Yeah, I did too. Still cry. But they, he had seen a UFO. You know, he was on a Navy sub, nuclear.
Have you guys seen Old Yeller? Is that good? I don't know if I've seen it. I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Old Yeller. It's about a dog, right?
Yeah.
Dog dies or something.
I read the book in middle school, I think.
Oh, I might have too, actually, but.
And I don't know if he saw that when he was on the sub or not. I can't remember. But, you know, here he is. That guy was president of the United States, and
They told him something, and supposedly he cried.
And I was in the meeting, and that was brought up. And the guy that they were trying to trip up gave the date of that meeting, and he said, you can go to the Carter Library and pull up that date, and you'll know there's one person, they omitted their name, which who knows who that was, but they list the meeting and where he was when he got that briefing.
Wow.
Whoa.
This is like
not
this
impressive.
Is fucked up. This is fucked up.
There's
people with like serious mental health problems in this country, and they're like getting fed this from the government, and it's being like legitimized, you know?
Yeah,
It's
they're going to
fucked
go
up.
schizophrenic and spiral and think Independence Day is real. You're right.
It's fucked up. Totally. You know, I can't see the liberals do it. I don't know. I can't imagine liberals doing this, right? Like, do they do this? I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. This is just insane.
Yeah, catnip for crazy people.
It's fucked up.
They came to my house that time. They were talking about a moon that was around Saturn or Jupiter that they'd done some testing with that they think would be capable of something, and the moon was larger than our Earth, of course. But
there's a moon that's larger than our Earth?
Yeah, around Jupiter or Saturn.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't think that's correct.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. Check it out.
Yeah,
dude.
no. There's
Rogan's right. There's no moons close to as big as Earth.
no moons that are larger than a planet.
No, it's not.
I don't think so. Our planet.
Well,
I don't believe that's true.
Circles around it. I don't know. Anyway, I'm wrong.
I don't know. Just getting stuff completely wrong. Doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Do I not know?
I mean, it
about
would
this?
be possible theoretically, but it just isn't true. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not. I don't believe there's
Okay.
a moon out there that's larger than our planet.
These guys seem to think that something could travel.
You know what
from
this is,
there.
Adam? It's you're covering up Nibiru or whatever it's called. That's what it is. You're part of the Nibiru cover up.
Is he here? Is he here? Don't.
Oh no, I hope not. He scares me. I'm worried.
Give him an orgasm if he hears that.
He caught us. You know what I mean? Like he's on to us. So I just don't want to hear anymore.
It's the quantum physics. After talking to that admiral, it makes me wonder if there is something in these deep ocean areas. The old cliche, we know more about the surface of the moon than we do the surface of the ocean floor. In some areas, I think is true because
sailors have been telling myths about sea monsters and shit happening at sea since quite literally the first sailors. Shut the fuck up, you country bumpkin retard peasant. Like, what the fuck are we doing? It's 2026 and you're falling for sea monster stories? Really?
Some guy was on a boat in the Navy and he had a uniform on and he told me he saw that's what we're getting, bruh.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Bruh. We just raised total hell about it, and then
why?
Because it's a cover-up. Nobody would give us information.
Well, what made you think it was a cover-up? Why did you think that there was
I
information?
just don't trust the government. I've been in government most of my life, and I just don't trust it.
That is the worst.
I just don't trust those scientists. I got no evidence, but I just don't trust them. So, okay.
The guy he's talking about that told him this is an admiral who was in the government.
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Exactly.
We just raised total hell about it, and then
why?
Because it's a cover-up. Nobody would give us information.
Well, what made you think it was a cover-up? Why did you think that there was information?
I just don't trust the government. I've been in government most of my life, and I just don't trust it.
I just don't trust. I just don't trust those scientists. Evolution ain't real. I just don't trust the NASA that says the Earth is a globe.
How much of the general American population do you guys think are buying into this ancient alien UFO disinfo?
75, 80% probably.
Following along with politics / culture war are buying it.
50, 60.
So maybe somewhere in there. I don't know. Here, let's. I'll see if I can find anything while we're watching the next clip. I wonder if they've done polls that ask.
I should go. That'll be my question this weekend. Do you believe in aliens and aliens are real? Have aliens visited Earth? Are fallen angels real? I can ask that. If they say yes, I'll do that.
Outspoken on UFOs. Are aliens real? President Trump isn't ruling it out after teasing a fresh drop of the UFO files last week.
I think we're going to be releasing as much as we can in the near future. It's been in the minds of people for a long time.
Dude, we are so cooked. They have done polls on
about the
this.
UFOs.
Yeah, what do they say?
56% as of November 2025 say aliens definitely or probably exist and have likely visited the planet.
Yeah, I was right about 60%. I was thinking, how many Christians are there about?
Yeah.
It's probably the same. The Christians and the aliens.
47% say aliens have definitely or probably visited Earth at some point. This is up this is 2025. This is up from 2012's numbers from 36%, with only 16% unsure now, which is that's the fastest shrinking group, is the people who are unsure about aliens. Dude, we are cooked.
And anything having to do with UFO or related material, and we're going to be releasing a lot of things that we have, and I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people.
And the renewed interest came at the...
I want to pause real quick. Somebody shared this. They said, these UFO files are cute, but the most important disclosure happened by Trump on Rogan's podcast, and no one noticed. What is this?
By the way, Elon is great. That guy is such a great guy. I think you're a fan of
Elon.
Him. He is from a different planet.
Okay, that's a joke.
Oh, you have no idea. They have taken over. They speak no language. And all of a sudden, and you hear blah, blah. And you see like little lights, like a round ball, but it wasn't a comet or a meteor. It was something. So I see this, and I said, you gotta be kidding. They wanted to meet. They wouldn't meet Obama. They all came to see me. They said, Kamala's a very low IQ person.
Exact same time, 17 earthquakes rattled Area 51, the classified military base in Nevada. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel says the release could be happening very soon.
Earthquakes?
My next guest has been outspoken on UFOs. He says aliens are not on the way, they are already here. Joining me now is retired Navy Admiral and oceanographer Timothy Gallaudet. Admiral, thank you for being with us here today. So I think that in any one of these conversations we need to start with, you're a serious person. I mean, you were an admiral in the United States Navy, and you have spoken to many people in the United States military about what they have seen, correct?
That's correct, Will. And really the bottom line here from the president promising to release these UFO files is an open admission that the U.S. government has been in possession of UFO data, videos, information, and material evidence for over eight decades. And I recently joined a number of...
Need more aliens.
That's good. That could have been the title of the video. No more Nibiru. Nibiru.
Officials in this recently released documentary, The Age of Disclosure. One of those officials includes the current Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, Marco Rubio.
Okay, so Admiral, what do you have? What do you know to back up your claim that we have had UFO material? And does that include, is that organic material? Is that beings? Is that mechanical, technological? What do you know? How can you back up that claim?
Well, I've not seen those, Will, myself, but of course there's been others who've testified, including David Grush in 2024, about having knowledge of the programs that keep that material classified and secure. And I know other officials who have touched those programs and been allowed access, and they're all very credible, and they're in this film I mentioned previously.
But you have said you believe that aliens are already here, haven't you? Have you not? You believe they're what? Walking amongst us in captivity? What do you mean?
I don't know that much. I do know that there are non-human intelligence is that at a higher order than us that are operating these craft, and We don't really know their intentions right now, but we have proof.
Are you telling this is another? Oh no, retired admiral. I thought he was another politician. We can't have 10 people in Congress all saying this. People are going to lose their minds. That's the point, probably.
That they exist, and as you mentioned, we're seeing more proof of that, of them possibly residing in our oceans. Just today, I spoke with a retired Navy captain submariner who witnessed in 1983 an underwater object that moved at speeds that we can't reproduce, and that he was not able to confirm was an adversary. It was an unknown.
Admiral, when you say we have evidence that they are, I think, what did you just say to me? They're under the sea, they've been under the sea, something like that. What is the evidence? Is it the video, some of which we're playing on our screen right now, videos we've seen, things that appear to be diving under the ocean? Is it testimony? What is the evidence you've seen that you have found so compelling?
Well, it's all of that, Will. Some of these videos have been leaked, like from the USS Omaha, a Navy ship in 2019 that was operating in Southern California and off Southern California. And then, of course, I've had eyewitnesses come to me, former submarine officers.
Are we expected to believe that all these, the conspiracy theories that people out there, all these hardcore Zionists, all of these people that promoted COVID, that they're going to tell you that they're just trying to get to the bottom and really reveal the truth about aliens? Or are we having like a COVID of aliens? And this is just some Bible distraction psyop. Is it not just blatantly that's what it is? You trust these people that they're really trying to reveal some deep secret from the government to you? Well, they're just kooky cranks? What do you think?
I don't know. If there's like a foreign entity coming to take over the planet, like his name is Yahweh, and he's not like, some space demon or anything like that. Like he's in the mind of like people, and that's where he lives, is from the minds of people, right? So like this whole thing, like even if it is something underneath of this that's true, it's all a distraction in my view. Like I said, like I'm willing to go here and say like, oh, let's look at this evidence and that evidence. I just find that, once you scratch, under the surface of all these issues on all these topics related to this, that it just comes out every time that it's just untrue. It's just a grifter. It's a
Yo, Trex, thank you. Trey Rex Aura. Thanks for the clips, dude. They are epic. They're gonna pop off one day soon.
Bro, the only thing getting abducted here is your audience's brain cells.
Dude, this is disclosure day. Hopefully we don't have to keep here all these kooks promoting it, but you know what the Christians are going to say, right? Adam's a reptilian demon trying to cover up the fallen angels.
What's funny is I imagine that like the if you think about like the development of intelligence agencies and things like that, and how that like progressed over time, like through the Middle Ages and before that, all the way back to the classical period, the part of what they were doing was like doing fake you talk about this a lot, the fake artifacts and things like that, right? Like Jesus's foreskin and ridiculous things like that, the pieces of the nails of the cross, things like that. It's like that whole idea of like the fraudulent relic, I guess you could say. It's almost like that is the medieval version, this is the modern version. It's the same thing, you know what I mean?
The names sent $5 on Rumble.
Yeah, ghost stories.
Pushing that Yahweh is the answer to the coming demon, alien, fallen angel invasion.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just mean like... hold on, good.
Yahweh sent $5 on Rumble. Interdimensional underwater reptilian Anunnaki Nephilim demonic aliens are taking over, so worship Yahweh.
You guys both just super chatted. Rumble ranted the exact same thing, and that is exactly it.
It's funny. But yeah,
what a timeline.
Think about those... if you think about like those relics and what they were, they would like parade them around town, like, oh look, oh this really is Jesus's, oh this is the artifact from when somebody spoke to an angel, one of the saints or something like that. So it was kind of these like artificial events that they were essentially like memeing into reality, like in the same way they're trying to do this right now. These sort of, we call it a psyop, but that really is what this is. They're trying to convince the peasants that that what they're doing is like, oh, you have to let us have power because we're dealing with these advanced demonic entities, and it has to be a secret for your own good, and this whole thing. It's like the same system has always been doing this thing, this like sleight of hand or whatever you call it.
So now former RT host Ben Swan now talking with this total crank Corey Good, alien grifter. Let's hear a little bit of this, how much we can handle.
Have you contacted or been in contact with these non-human entities? And if so, how do you have?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how I became quite famous for a...
Dude, where's the angel orb guy? Did they all block me? I haven't seen a single angel orb Chris Bledsoe post. They might have blocked me. I have to search. Did the cat jump? Yep.
While David Wilcock and I had a television show, and some beings appeared to me called the...
Yeah, that's right. Ben Swan just had Rabbi Dyer on recently, too. Exactly.
Blue Avian.
Russia Network strong.
And they were imparting all of this esoteric knowledge, real connected to the Law of One and some other esoteric works. And I, just like the other contactees, I was caught up and raptured in the intense emotions and just being in contact with something like this. It has an effect on you, and you don't always question things the way you should. And yeah, a lot of this information that's coming out is being studied by 3 different universities, a Rosicrucian group, and a couple of other people that wanted.
Rosicrucians are deep into the alien stuff. Remember, I watched that like alien documentary a couple weeks ago, and they said it was the main guy was some Rosicrucian.
To study my family, they're studying a new religion being created in real time. And they said that they've had to study it historically because this non-human intelligence, they believe, has created religions over time to guide or manipulate humanity, depending on whether you think it's a positive or negative thing.
What, dude? They created religion? It wasn't the Jews behind the Judeo Matrix. It's actually aliens? The aliens are the chosen people?
Did it contact?
See how this like legitimizes them too? It's like he's like saying like, oh, basically the esoteric things and the Kabbalistic ideas, and I mean he's basically saying that those things are true and real essentially, right? He's giving legitimacy for them. Yes, he's painting them as, oh, they're coming from like this outside source, but he doesn't seem to like he doesn't understand the implications behind that. Basically, like if there is like a shadowy cabal of people like trying to do something like this, he's promoted, like he like agrees with it. I don't know. The whole thing is so
legitimizes it. It legitimizes it as it elevates the Kabbalah magic as even more supernatural. Basically, it's from aliens. And now we're blaming religion and Yahweh and the Torah on aliens and demons instead of just like the chosen people and the nation of priests and Jews. That's interesting as well.
An audible voice. How do you receive this revelation, this enlightenment? How does that work?
It introduced itself through dreams, very casually, very strange dreams. And then I started having them appear in front of you. Whether they were physically there or not now, I don't know, just because now I understand that whatever this non-human intelligence is, it's like we're in a video game, and it can spawn into the game and spawn anything it wants into the game and then make it disappear. It can control time, space, our perceptions,
this is a Gnostic
and reality.
concept. The ancient Gnostics would have sounded exactly like this. This is basically what their worldview was.
Just like Saul the Pharisee, Jesus appeared to him in revelations and visions and from the scriptures. A non-human intelligence started by coming to me in my dreams. Is that not what he just described?
Yeah, it's
ambient dreams. Yeah, he's off his meds. Yeah, my dreams are real, bro.
Yeah, this is what this is. This is what it is. It is all one thing. It's interesting once you see it. I haven't always seen it like this. So seeing it like this after watching some of these interviews, it's very interesting because it's like the same language and the same way of understanding all these things.
Yeah. Jesus was real to the first apostles, just like this guy's human intelligence he met in his dreams is real. An angel speaking to them in dreams, that's whispering them in personal revelations that they learned about and obsessed about by connecting all these passages in Scripture. That's the origins of Jesus, what we're witnessing right now.
All the people reporting reptilians or tall blondes or all of these different beings,
Wait. Reptilian tall blondes? I think he's covering up the reptilian tall blondes.
The idea that we've been visited by aliens and that they need to act in secret could only come from people that have no understanding of the technological gap required for interstellar space travel.
Yeah. Hey, aliens, at least either conquer us or give us some advanced technology. Something. Throw us a bone, aliens. The Cope is like, well, they have to hide because we're so dumb and we couldn't handle it and it would scare everybody and they just wanted to monitor us and help guide our, like, stupid Copes like that. The same Copes they make up about God being nowhere to be found, right?
So stupid. It is interesting though. One thing is that they do the thing where they say, he said earlier, like, oh, they've influenced all the religions. They've been created to have this idea and elevate our consciousness. That is kind of like describing a real thing though, right? Like kind of how I would view it is that like the religions were created for that purpose, but they were just created by people, not aliens or outside entities. And in fact, the way that they operate is that you almost have to believe that they came from an outside entity. Like, yeah, sure, they believe it's Hashem or Yahweh or whatever, but it's just the concept that it came from a being that we don't understand, from outside our understanding and control, and like therefore it's true. That's basically what the premise of the religions always is, right? So it's not actually that far off from their just straight up Abrahamism of all the types.
Thanks, conspiracy truthers shared. Corey Good exposed as a fraud in court, making up all his bullshit. But yet he's still, Ben Swan's like, bring him on. Let's go. Let's hear his kooky story. Let's fill the Goyim-controlled ops head with a bunch of demonic Enoch bullshit.
They can communicate and talk about whatever they want. This is America. Sure. But if they went out and said that Han Solo was giving them information in their dreams or in their meditations, and they started writing books about it, guess who's going to come and sue them?
So you're saying that this Anshar, it's real, it exists as far as you're concerned, and that you communicate with Anshar, correct?
It is a meditative tool that I use, and a lot of my...
Dude, I love the Michael Jackson impersonator Jerry curl he's got going on here.
I am answering your question.
Is it real or not?
It is not physically real. It was created by me as a part of my meditative practices.
Do you communicate with something named Anshar?
In my meditations, I use the Anshar as like an...
And then what does this do? This Christians see this and go, oh, he's satanic, demonic, he's speaking to demons, he's channeling demons, demons are real, Jesus is real, right? They'll point to people like this or others like Blavatsky and who's the other Satanist guy, Anton LaVey, and they'll be like, they communicated with demons, bro, witches and magic and sorcerers and wizards, and they think it's real because these kooks promote it and LARP. And then they say Jesus is the answer.
Avatar to communicate and gather different information.
Avatar being real and independent from you, or part of you?
It would be it depends on how you view a person, their higher self.
Is Anshar independent from you, or is it part of you?
It's my creation. It's part of my higher self.
So no one else can communicate with it because it's your creation.
Right, unless they decide to create it in their head, but then they're not creating it.
Well, if they create it in their head, what are they doing?
They're borrowing my creation and delusionally having their own experience.
And they can't write about their own experience.
They can't write and profit off of, just like Han Solo, the whole Star Trek. This is an IP that is like Star Trek, and it is dramatizations built on top of my experiences, and that people do that all the time, and they're
Okay, that was so stupid. I don't know if I can listen to another second of this. So I just want to see, like, hold on, blue beings.
My family, 8 foot tall, blue avian bird being. It appeared to me as. I've had it appear as tall, blonde, blue-eyed beings. My whole family has experienced abductions. My children recently told their story in a documentary, and my wife. And not only that, where we have non-human intelligences like alien grays and all of the things that are cliche now in ufology, but we had demonic things coming in our house, like very scary demonic things, light orbs. It was the whole gamut of
confirmed light orbs
experience. It all seems to be just tied together.
Yeah. In terms of, you mentioned earlier that kind of there is a satanic element that has infiltrated into ufology, and that is it because they are embracing this enlightenment and you know, in a religious way?
I think,
dude, even abductions is like Merkaba mysticism. They're caught up. The aliens caught them up into the heavens, and they saw these wild things. Right? We're taught secret teachings and knowledge, totally like that.
Absolutely.
A lot of chat is saying that this guy said that he did a bunch of mushrooms. That's what fried his brain.
Makes total sense.
This
I just posted 2 clips
created
bring up after this one.
Currently, if you can stomach it, go to the Joy of Satan Ministries website, and if you look, going back decades, they've been working on this galactic federation, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, angelic-looking human scenario, and it's been infiltrating ufology for decades, and it's a big part of the lore now. And a lot of the people that are contactees that are pulling this information in from everyone else, they don't realize that it's what the source that it's coming from. So there's quite a bit of deception going on.
He's saying that there's satanic Aryans trying to infiltrate the UFO myth with their myth. Because if those guys are out there, like, you guys keep doing that. You guys are doing a fantastic job. The memes are lit. The Sonograds with the music going and Agartha and all that stuff. You guys are killing it. Keep doing that.
Yeah, I'm on team 8 foot tall, blue eye Nordic aliens. Sorry, Christ cucks. I'm one of them. My family.
It's funny because if I had to guess where the source of that stuff comes, it's from Ukrainian or Russian message boards from the 90s. That's like the earliest version of a lot of those memes you see are. That's where they come from. So
sounds like anti-blue-eyed, blonde-haired giant propaganda to me. Yeah. That's so funny.
People.
That's why I made it, because people say stuff like that. Giovanni or Giorgiani said that.
Community.
Do you believe, I don't want to drag this out too long for you, but I'm just fascinated by what you're describing. Do you believe that people within the government who are aware of this?
So he's just straight shilling this guy. He's just bringing him on and taking him completely seriously and acting like it's all real and super serious. Swan's a joke, dude. Swan's a Russia propaganda a joke. That's all I think he is, honestly.
Who have an understanding, people at the universities who have an understanding. Do they believe that these things are what they represent themselves to be? Whether it be the original creators, I don't even know. I mean, maybe they describe themselves as different things. How do you think they view them?
I think a lot of them believe this is an ultra-terrestrial hypothesis, which is it presents itself differently to everyone. But you have people from all of these different backgrounds and faiths that are looking at this information through their own filter. Some people look at it and think that there's a demonic aspect to it, which I kind of do now after experiencing it. There are people that believe that it's the old Sumerian gods coming back. There are like 4 or 5 major theories from the people who are keeping the secret. So there's not
Rabbi.
Truth.
Dude, this is like this is a rabbinic take, right? Like, how else would you describe this?
All the different camps and theories on what it is. And they all think it's some form of demons.
There isn't. It's just data that they all interpret differently.
Corey, as you have been affected by this, I don't even want to use the term visited because it doesn't even sound like it's visitation. It sounds like it's more like you've been almost haunted or harassed by this. Your family has been as well.
Poor victim.
I believe that when these disclosures happen,
he got me too'd by the aliens.
Actually describing parasites that can infest your body and transferred through fluids. Cleanse your body accordingly.
Yeah, when people would have mental illness or any disease and stuff back in the day, they're possessed by demons and spirits and ghosts. Of course, that was one of them. Some people act. You see a schizophrenic person, or a bipolar person. Yeah, he got raped by demons for sure. Poor guy.
it opens a door, whether it's a spiritual door or a metaphysical door. It opens a door for these things to now reveal themselves to far more people than what we've seen in the past.
Absolutely, because like I said, this new esoteric religion, it ties into Christianity and all of the others. And it's going to be so seductive because there are going to be light orbs appearing that we're going to be told are angels or different. We're going to have things appearing in front of everybody more and more. The more it comes into our consciousness, the more it's going to start appearing. And as it does, it becomes real. It becomes more real than Michael, Gabriel, the Bible, the things in the Bible. It starts becoming tangible, real.
Oh, the Bible's real now, guys.
Emotions when they interact with this phenomenon, and it is pulling people away from their root religions towards this new esoteric religion that will come out soon.
One more question for you.
Oy vey, it's pulling people from their true Jewish religions.
And I appreciate your patience and your time on this. You described the enlightenment part of it as being very seductive. Does that mean that you had almost like is it a download of information? Are they imparting knowledge or imparting
nothing? Yeah, Nahweh says nothing's more real than the Bible.
Wisdom to you. What does that feel like? And how do you see people, as this begins to happen more often, being seduced by that feeling?
I have experienced the downloads, and it's an incredible amount of information that you get all of a sudden over maybe an hour or two. Then you go lay down and sleep and process it for a week or two and really, have dreams. But
that's called reading. That's called reading. That's
powerful.
That's called having a mushroom trip, dude, and having it wear off. Dude, look at this guy. Imagine trusting this dude. This guy was such a big deal too. Him and Wilcox,
yeah.
Like they made a ton of money, I'm sure, peddling this delusional nonsense.
Full information. If you've ever read The Law of One or looked at different channeling, it's channeling. Everyone is going to start channeling and being connected to this non-human intelligence a lot more, and seeing it with their eyes and having the ability to connect with it. It's going to, I don't know if this is positive, negative. I'm just suspicious because I see where it's headed. There's a new religion coming out. This thing is starting to show itself. Disclosures are happening. It's all coordinated and happening at the same time.
I don't see how it's a new religion. This just seems like normal mystical Judaism to me.
Yeah, it is. It's just like a modern version of this stuff. Yeah. Well, they don't see it that way. Like, they don't understand it that way because, they think of Judaism because it's like a real in a way. They don't study it or understand any of it. They think the Kabbalah, reading it's like reading Kabbalah is like a magical thing. You can't read the Zohar, like it'll put a curse on you, things like that, right? So that prevents them from understanding this.
Bruh's got crystals on his wall shelf.
Let's go, crystal maxing.
Corey Good, we deeply appreciate your time and sharing your story with us. Please stay in touch, come back, especially as this stuff starts to come out. I think people need...
Dude, Ben Swan, you are a joke, dude. Ridiculous. RT shares everything Alex Jones and Fuentes do at this point.
Now,
let's see Jones's latest
false flag attack.
Theory.
False flag attack.
Fuck, dude.
$5 on Rumble. Hey, Adam. Genuinely not trying to rip you for content. Just want people to find you the way I did. Is it cool for me to post clips of the show to my Wodensage channel?
Anybody's free to use any of my clips. It's out there on the internet. What do you think I'm going to be like? They used a clip of me. Oh, DMCA. I've never DMCA'd anybody for playing a clip of me in my life. So yes, of course. I would appreciate anybody sharing the clips. Okay, let's hear Jones's new theory.
Israel staged a false flag attack, set off a nuke and say Iran did it, attack the U.S. and say Iran did it, shoot surface air missiles at Trump's Air Force One and claim Iran did it. They've been pre-programming all of that. So we're at a very dangerous juncture right now because Netanyahu has already been indicted, convicted. He knows that if he can't keep this war going, he's done. That's why he funded Hamas. That's why Israel created Hamas. Now they've set up Hamas or get rid of Hamas, but they stood down on October 7th. So all the false flags, all the disinformation is coming to a close. Israel's now the most unpopular country in the world, according to Gallup poll, and they're trying to double down controlling our foreign policy. But to all the neocons who tried to bully the American people, tried to tell us we were wrong, we were right, and you were wrong. So it looks like Saudi Arabia just ended the war. According to all the calculus, that's what's happening. But
Dude,
Israel may...
How is he trying to run around and take victory laps? He was right. Yeah, Alex was right. Dude, he's been like counter signaling this position for 25 years. And now he flips and starts criticizing Israel more, and he's talking about he was right. Crazy.
They do a Hail Mary and stage some big event.
Dude, the wrinkles. That is wild. What does that look like?
I think he stopped taking the Ozempic or something. Or he's like immune to it. He needs to like up his dosage. I don't know how it works.
Dude, it looks like a scrotum. His head looks like a scrotum, or like he's got, you could see his brain folds. Like big brain. Pinky in the brain forehead.
Very, very soon, maybe political assassinations here in the United States for control. You've had the head of the ADL say a month ago, we'd use the same energy Israel used killing Hamas with pagers against Americans that say Israel got us into this war.
Oh my gosh. That was clip-worthy, RT. Okay, now the Fuentes segment. Any thought?
Hold
can
on.
you
Let's
open a...
do the Mizrachi and Talmud in the chat. And then,
sorry.
And then I
Paula Retard. Did I do that one yet?
I think you might have done these. Maybe not the Pastors 1 and Pastors 2 you haven't done yet. Yeah, you did the RT one. But I meant the
Mizrachi on demons. Got it.
This is a good one, yeah.
3 kinds of... $5 maxing.
I didn't see the censored word. Hold on, I have to find that.
And then...
Mizrachi on demons.
So there's this Mizrachi on demons, and then the other one's a Sephara link to the Talmud. I just want to show people that they probably don't know about.
Okay.
3 kinds of demons. They drink from the oceans. They lick the ocean. They physical demons. They hide in forests, in places of vacant homes, vacant and brand new constructions, places that there's no mezuzot.
No, so it's not a Jewish house. It does have the mezuzah at the front of the front door. That's what he means.
Afraid to be where people are. So how do you get rid of it? You leave a little light in a room, and you open the window a little bit, like half an inch. 3 kinds
That's all
of
you gotta do right there, guys. Everyone knows it. That's how you deal with your demons. So if you're having a situation where aliens are trying to abduct you or fuck with you, just get them a zote. And if you don't want to have that, then just leave a little crack, and the demons will leave you alone. Just leave a little light, a little crack.
Or if you're Christian, if you're a goyim, just say the holy name Rabbi Yeshua 3 times, and they will flee. The demons will flee. Here's our other favorite rabbi, Reuven, talking about demons surrounding the Gentiles.
Why are they worshippers? Why are they mezoamim? What's mezoamim? Mezoamim means they're impure. Their natural state is being impure. A goy's natural state is impurity. What does impurity mean? Impurity means that if you had real glasses that were going to be able to tell you all of the things that are really next to you, your world will be very different than your world right now. Right now you see each other, you see me, that's all you see. But the real world is very different than what we see. And the reason why we don't see it is because if we really saw all of the shedim and the angels, the good ones, the bad ones, the and so on, that are really next to us, we'd lose our mind. But the goyim, they have a certain level of tum'ah that is constantly next to them. Constantly next to them. Constantly in...
See, us impure dark soul goyim have demons floating all around us. And if you put on your rabbi glasses, you can see all the demons surrounding the impure goyim. That's how kosher this narrative is, by the way. Rabbi demonology.
Inside them. Does that make them bad people? Not always. Not always, sometimes. But it's always the case. Why is it always the case, the Gemara asks? Why
the Jews should do a remake of They Live, where the Jews put on their Jewish glasses and then they can see the demons all around the goyim. That'd be funny.
Dude, can you rewind it just 5 seconds and listen to the rabbi that he just cited? Because it's going to be important for the next thing I want.
Sure.
Constantly next to them, constantly inside them. Does that make them bad people? Not always. Not always, sometimes. But it's always the case. Why is it always the case, the Gemara asks? Why they have this mezoamim? Why, are we racist now? We have nothing else to do in the world to be racist against goyim. There's 8 billion of them. Find a different hobby. Pick on somebody your own size. So the Gemara continues, he says, Shelo amdu al Har Sinai. Why? Because they did not stand at Mount Sinai to accept the Torah. They didn't accept the Mount of the Torah.
Okay, that's enough. We're not going to do the whole thing. Who was the rabbi? I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either. Well, the important thing is that he's talking about the Gemara, so that's the basically like the commentary that's added onto the Mishnah. If you open up the Talmud on Demons link that I sent there, I just want to show people this. How kosher, like, because you said this is a really kosher narrative and all these other things. This is totally true, but like, this is where it comes from. It comes from the Talmud, guys. These guys, all these e-crusaders are so anti-Talmud, freaking about the Talmud.
J96 sent $5. Theosophists, Rosicrucians, and Sufi Freemasonry were central in Aryan theory and the Thule society that became the NSDAP. The UFO idea, Wunderwaffe, came from the fascist Freemason Giuseppe Belluzzo.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. There's definitely some truth to what he was just saying there.
Okay, do I need to do an advanced search? I opened up the link, but I'm not seeing.
It's just the water part. It was that right there. So he's talking about. So what this is right here is this is a chat where a rabbi is talking with a demon. So like a better way to describe how they view demons isn't that they're like positive or negative or evil or good or anything like that. They're all part of Hashem's creation. So they all serve like a purpose basically. So they have whole conversations with demons. But look, this is the conversation. So here they are only made to keep the water out. It talks about a boat's walls are not designed to turn in place. It's but to protect it from the water, and this whole idea of like demons and water and all these things, this coming out of the water and demonic entities influencing our esoteric knowledge and things like that. This is right out of the Talmud, right out of what the rabbis teach. This idea of like convening with outer forces, in my view, it's a complete myth. It's basically a way of like grounding a story and like making it have more oomph or power for these people. You know what I mean? So what for the purpose of their faith and trying to get across some sort of like theological kind of a purpose. So they have these sort of like a Platonic dialogue where it's the person that they're arguing against, in this case a demon, the person they're talking to is the demon. The purpose is a literary device.
Sent $5 on Rumble. New Vrilify banger.
I was just gonna say, and then we got new Vrilify banger just dropped too. We can play it after the transition here.
Oh really? Okay, well we can if that's true, we got a breaking Vrilify story. We'll cover that before the Fuentes segment.
It's good, but yeah, there we go.
We got a brand new Vrilify on Joel Webbin. This should be good. 45 seconds, that's all? All right, let's see.
Money! This man went from This man with a sinister aura is the voice of Gen Z. This is Pastor Joel Webbin, also known as The Voice. He's a Rumble televangelist, popular with young niggas on the huzz. But much like a SoundCloud rapper, he has allegations. Back in San Diego, Pastor Joel was accused of being a Diddy blood. From there, it's a series of devious licks that prove Pastor Joel is a ruthless bag getter. Money! This man went from preaching to black kids in his living room to cracking hijabis in the green room at AF United.
Sensation.
Now he's at the top of the game and will stop at nothing to defend his crown as the rock star of Western civilization. Do you think evil lurks in the heart of Pastor Joel Webben?
Delusion!
Repost this video on Let Me Know in the comments.
That's so good. Oh my god. That's so funny.
Draco. Mortal Kombat in theaters. Anybody gonna go see Mortal Kombat? Whitest Groiper. That's funny. Okay. So, court appears to be a coordinated coup on Nick Fuentes at the moment. A bunch of people I don't like all that much. They're fighting over America first when all of them are actually Jesus first. Tucker's got some clips talking about him. Megyn Kelly does. Dan Bilzerian came out, 40,000 likes, says, I think Nick Fuentes is a Fed. Constant division, endless infighting, defending Epstein, then attacking a Christian man only to endorse a Jewish Democrat. Woman, after saying the left wants us dead. The contradictions never end. Dan Bilzerian, Dan the man who's running for office in Florida, has thrown down the gauntlet. They're all sharing, Dan Bilzerian's the new leader of America First. Pass it on. Bunch of big influencers. The Christian Muslim Alliance, Christian controlled op, pro-Russia sphere group, I would say, is largely signal boosting this. Nick has responded. What else do we have here? Arvel also, the Return to the Land Platonist Arvel, has a video, 6,000 likes, 24 minutes, says, why I've finally given up on Nick Fuentes. They are coming for the crown. All his top former friends pulling out the knives to take down the emperor.
Yeah, it does seem like that. They're trying. I posted like a bold strategy con. We'll see how it pays off for them. These guys are retarded if they think that this is gonna work. Just so everybody's clear. Yeah. So like our guys are watching all of this and like being like, oh, this is the end of Nick. Like, you guys just like need to just sit back and just watch what's going on, because Nick is going to, and the Groypers are going to crush these people. They're all dumb. They're all retards. They're all grifters. Almost every single one of them became red-pilled after 10-7. It is absolutely like not our fight, or not something that we need to get involved with at all, to sit here and like try to rub this in or do anything at all. Because I'm telling you guys right now, like this little uprising, this little coup against Nick, it will 100% fail. So don't put your eggs in that basket. That is just what I would say to people.
No, dude, Dan and Jake and Leonarda and Uncensored AI and Morgan Ariel, this is going to bring him down. Now that they've called him a Fed, he's never going to recover. He's only been called a Fed by like Candace and Tucker and all types of people for years. But now, and what you said, Nick, with all of our issues with him, which there are many, these people are, they make Nick just seem like, somebody ahead of the curve, way smarter than these people. They're so bad in comparison almost.
Yeah, I think Nick is authentic and smart, and I don't think any of these people are authentic or smart. And to me, I think there's like a huge shortage of those two things. There's basically like no smart people in this thing, and most people are grifting, right? So it's like I know there's a lot of people that are in your audience who think that that's what Nick is doing. I just disagree with you. And it's fine. Like, it's not like a big deal. I just think that is kind of the situation. Like, that's the reality.
Arvel said, and I thought Arvel made some legit points. Dan is just like the usual. It's like, he's gay, he's a Fed. Like, okay, dude. How about call him out?
None of those things are going to work.
Shilling the Catholic Church and Jesus, and while you're opposing Judaism. But also Arvel claims that Dan Bilzerian gave him a call and inspired him to do this 24-minute call out of Nick. So there's definitely a coordinated attack to bring down Nick right now. Love him or not, love him or hate him, that's pretty obvious.
Oh, they're obviously doing this via like a group chat, and these people think that they invented like the group chat warfare, and it's like they're going against like the final boss of the group chat warfare game. Like these people, like the Groypers have built their whole thing on like the skulls of the group chat warfare on Twitter. And if you guys think you're just gonna like, you guys who just discovered this yesterday and just did your conference and made your group chat a couple weeks ago, you guys think you're gonna beat them? Like you're absolutely retarded. You have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, somebody could. There could be an alliance, a coalition of people that could at least, you know, like surpass Nick possibly. But this ain't it. This is not going to get it done. I'm not optimistic for this coalition to put Nick in his place. Maybe knock him down a peg, possibly, but I don't know. But let's dig into some of this stuff from Tucker and analyze some of this.
Significance of, or I wish I'd never interviewed that kid. Not that I don't even really have strong feelings about Fuentes. I just don't care. You know, he doesn't know anything. He's not like I don't really know what's the significance of Fuentes. Or I wish I'd never.
Wasn't he saying, and doesn't everybody saying, like he's super smart, like almost a child prodigy type of thing, knows a lot, you know, wise for his age, most influential young person, and now Tucker's cope is, oh, he's irrelevant and doesn't know anything. Does he think that's going to work, or is he just and again, why is RT boosting all of this?
Interviewed that kid. Not that I don't even really have.
Nick is way more popular amongst people and respected in a lot of ways. Even people that don't like him still respect him more than Tucker, right? Yeah, I want to see them all take L's and fail. Yeah, ultimately, pretty much, yeah. Or get set on the right path, and more towards the white path. That's the
whole point of Fuentes, by the way. Significance of Fuentes, other than as a tool to get other people to be quiet, and that may be the whole point of Fuentes, by the way. I don't know, but I wonder.
The point of Fuentes is a tool to keep people quiet. Excuse me. This is the type of like just nonsense, convoluted stuff people make up to try to hate on me. Like, oh, he's trying to do this and applying all these like motives that you have no proof of, could never prove. Just Fed jacketing, feds fighting feds. Yeah, everybody Fed jackets everybody. It gets a little tiring, a little tedious.
It's Candace Owens' brain, right?
Yeah. It's like actually have an argument. When your attack on somebody is like speculating on their motives, that's like, it's just like low tier.
But anyway, the point is, what a waste. Very few people.
RT boosting all of this. Okay, I guess I got several of the same. Hold on. Here's 6 months ago.
The single most.
Here's the contrast.
Relevant. And then I got all these calls from people saying, do you know anything about, I don't know anything really about Nick Fuentes, other than he's attacking my dad, my wife, and my son. And it was like, actually, Nick Fuentes is the single most influential commentator.
Think too. Is there
period? He's got 5 million subscribers on Rumble.
It's bonkers.
That's wrong.
Very few people I don't get along with.
5 million, way off. But still, it shows they're hypocrites, they're liars, they're flip-flopping. Tucker, just noticing thing, Tucker Carlson's brother spoke at the America First United conference, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they're all...
Along with the other Russia shill, the other Stu Peters, who's obviously getting money somewhere from Russia, right?
Like, yeah, it's like Nick isn't going along with the Russia sphere narrative and playing ball with all their top influencers. He's friendly with Spencer and Hanania and these more Russia critical spheres, right? And then now they're all coming after him. That's a little interesting. Just noticing things.
Because you've been somewhat, you've had an influx of young
notice
viewers.
Another thing too. It's over whether he's going to vote for Democrats in the midterms, guys. This is so important to understand. Like what Nick is talking about, he is trying to do like an electoral game for the midterms, and people are reacting in a way that like just takes the bait, if you will, on the whole thing. And these.
The names sent $5 on Rumble. This seemed to stem from Fuentes advocating for voting Democrat to punish the GOP. These new timers who got red-pilled yesterday have nothing but we gotta vote for Hitler. Lol.
Yeah. Yeah, what Nick's trying to do is he's trying to like flex that he has like electoral power, or you know what I mean, if that makes sense. He's trying to like proof of concept to the GOP, like, hey, if you fuck with us and if you don't give us what we want, we can throw elections hard for you, we can make things difficult for you, we can make your life hell. And if you just have like 5% of the vote, you know, the what was it called, the Medicare for all people, on the left, AOC and these guys, they had a similar situation where they had the Democrats by the balls, and I think Nick is trying to do like a right-wing version of that. And I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I wish him luck. I hope it kind of does, but that's what he's doing.
Gang in Arizona sent $5 on Rumble. I hate how Tucker always tries to act like a normal guy and says he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, I know. It's such a cop-out. Isn't it such a cop-out?
He doesn't know.
Well, I don't even know anything what I'm talking about. It might be wrong. I really don't know. But then assert this strong opinion on something, right? Yeah, he totally does that. It's so
The other thing too is all these guys are freaking out like Dan's gonna run against Randy Fine. Like, let me just say, like, Randy Fine is gonna win that election. Like Nick pointed this out last night. His entire electorate are evangelical boomers basically, and they love
Jews.
Randy Fine.
Yeah,
and Jews. And like they love Randy Fine. He's like their top guy. And like as far as like Jews go, he's like this, like, I mean, he's basically, because he's Jewish, able to basically be like an anti-immigration racist. Okay, so like the idea that Dan is gonna like run against that and it's gonna somehow be like a good messaging campaign, it's so stupid. The only message it's gonna send is that this like online sphere is incompetent, is basically the message it's gonna send.
I'll tell you what I hope, though. I hope this escalates. I hope this explodes. I hope there's bodies everywhere, metaphorically, if you know what I'm saying, right? Just the fight and the feud and calling each other out, like, you know, let them.
Well, Nick is gonna win this. I would just, like I said.
Well, we're gonna play a clip of him responding to Dan in a second, and he doesn't seem shook at all. And honestly, he seems very used to being backstabbed and having his inner circle or friends turn against him. Right?
And some Muslims now that are taking another look at the Tucker Carlson show, because you've been somewhat defensive of Islam. Just yes. The online yesterday was a torrent of demands by the Israel firsters and some regular conservatives. I mean, demanding that in their view, return to Muslim hate. You know, you're just out there for clicks.
I can't stand Megyn Kelly.
Nothing I've done is
never
clicks.
could.
Yep. And I have been blown away by how openly the Israel First crowd is.
They do want them to do that, by the way. She's not.
I and others hate Muslims.
The Christian worldview, and by the way, also the Muslim worldview, is a universal worldview. Anybody can come.
Yeah. But teaming up with Muslims, endorsing Islam, Christian Muslim alliance, though, that ain't it. That ain't it.
But she's probably right. There are Jewish and Zionist, you know, money donors or whoever she's talking about there that was talking to her. There are people that are trying to like instigate like the anti-Muslim stuff in America. Like we've talked about it 1,000 times here.
Of course, yeah, they've always done that.
That it is. So she is describing like how they operate, right? So it's interesting that people are like seeing it for what it is, you know. Look, even Howling Mutant like stuck up for Nick here. Like those guys have had their beef too. Like I said, like you guys, like I don't know. There's no reason to engage in a debate on like false grounds, on like questioning people's motives, like we said earlier. And that's what's happening when you say Nick's a fed. That's what happened. You know what I mean?
Even Captive Dreamer's defending the logic. He says this doesn't even make sense when you realize Trump controls the FBI.
Zionist trust fund cucks in $5. Dan is a trust fund baby that never made his millions via underground poker games. Google it. He's a total fraud. Who'd even care what this faggot has to say? On the other side is Nick, who eats boogers dipped in holy water for a living.
Yeah, I'm not. Dan is going to get destroyed by Randy Fine in the election, and I'm not a fan of Dan all that much. You know, he's talking about Jewish supremacy and Judaism, like, okay, but still, I don't know. He ain't it.
Yeah, they are scammers. There's tons of YouTube videos on this that have gone through like Dan's father and himself and all this like history and lore. You could probably like literally like 6 or 7 hours of it. You can just go watch it all on YouTube and it goes through the whole history. This is just his newest grift, guys. He might believe it to some degree, but that is what is motivating him. And he will not outlast Nick either.
Gifts says, well said. Morgan Ariel says something is not right with him. You need the Groypers to win and to beat Randy Fine. Groypers or not, he's not beating Randy Fine. Are you guys delusional? All right, low IQ crash out. Randy Fine win in a landslide. Groper curse. How do you get over January 6th? Been on
He
this.
answered that at 10,000 times. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if people don't like Nick, like the answer is just not. I don't know. You guys are just being autistic on how you're thinking about it. If you think that this is a good strategy.
All right, let's see a little bit of Nick's response to Dan.
Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Goy the Crusader. It's the Jews. I've been saying this for 10 years.
Dude, it's actually crazy. Every time, dude, and that's all these girls do is talk on the phone. Honestly, 99% of these crash outs are because I don't pick up the phone. Like, Dan was flaming me because I like didn't text him back. And I was like, bro, I literally missed like 3 texts. And he's like, it was 4 texts. I was like, whoa, not that anyone's counting, right? And he's like, you never called me back. I'm like, dude, you're like a girl. All you fucking people do is talk on the phone, kicking your feet. I don't have time for that. It's like, well, it's not even I have all the time in the world. I just don't want to talk to you. Dude, he would call me up for like hours and just give me the speech, just give me the monologue about the Jews. I'm like, dude, I know. We were arguing about like Charlie Kirk and stuff. I'm like, dude, watch the show. I don't know what to tell you.
Hold on, pause this.
Not for nothing, but
just think about this. So,
sounds introverted.
No, think about this. So while you and I have been on the phone and I'm every day seething about these Charlie Kirk retard conspiracy theorists, Nick is on the phone fielding calls from Dan Bilzerian, hearing the same thing. He must have wanted to kill himself the entire time. Nick is literally on the phone being like, what have I done? Like, these people are so dumb that Nick must be so happy that he can finally just like go gloves off on these people.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. Imagine if every day we had somebody that called us or wanted to talk to us every day, and he wants to tell, the Charlie Kirk, did you see that Israel did do it? Did you see the drone? Did you see the handgun? Did you see where he jumped off the roof, but he didn't have a gun? All the stupid shit. Oh, it was in the shape of a menorah. All the stupid shit. We know Dan was doing that.
Yeah, I've said Dan was probably doing exactly what he does in the interviews. Like, he got red pilled yesterday, and he's like sharing all the info he learned from a bunch of memes in like a documentary or something, or he saw on a podcast. And it's like, yeah, that's funny. Let's see.
People crash out on them because I just won't even go one step out of my way to demonstrate that I like have any patience for what they have to say. And then they just start to hate me. Like, that's really what I need to get better at that.
I think it's more than that. For me. It's not just that. I don't buy that.
The dumbest people imaginable just blowing up my phone. And it's like, dude, I don't want to be on a call with you for 60 minutes, going in circles about stuff we already know. Like, I'm good. So it's like, whatever. You can't win everybody,
Rumble. It's obvious that Nick already knew Bilzerian didn't stand a chance running in his particular district. That's why he didn't publicly endorse his campaign, and Bilzerian was probably heard about it.
Yeah, probably. Nick is smart, though, to not endorse somebody that's going to lose. And then everybody will say, oh, look what a Nick endorsement does. Doesn't do anything. He lost because, Nick was on his side, right?
Well, the other side of that is the Fishback, right? Like, he has endorsed Fishback, and he has been involved there to at least a limited degree, right? And I don't think Fishback really has a chance of winning or anything like that. And I've attacked Fishback, or I've had criticism of Fishback, but I think that like Nick can see that there's a value in that one, but not in Dan Bilzerian, if that makes sense, right? So, so he does have like I would say like an electoral thing that he's trying to do, like getting into politics, and I think that he just sees value in the Fishback one where he doesn't see it in the Dan Bilzerian and Casey pushing these guys, and it's probably like the retard factor, right? Like I mean, say what you will about Fishback, but he's definitely doing like the retard wrangling at like grade A levels, right? Like I wouldn't say that's untrue, and that's kind of part of the political sphere.
Maybe also just because Dan's not like a big Christian. Could that be the problem?
Perhaps.
Well, Fishback, kisses the crucifix and says, we need to be, you're not America first if you're not Jesus first. So more aligned with Nick's rhetoric.
You can't, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to like you, So it is what it is. So, some people I don't mind taking a call from, but other people it's like, holy, like, just watch the show. I don't know what to tell you.
Citizen 25 cents.
It boils down to that.
This is where he calls them low IQ anti-Semitism.
Dan Bilzerian today he says on Twitter, first he's telling us that the left is trying to kill right-wingers. Now he says to vote for the Democrat in Ohio. It's too contradictory. And it's like, Dan, I know you're not that smart, but it's really not that complicated. I mean, it really boils down to that. This is why they call us Goyim. Like, sorry, this is why they call us Goyim. I used to think low IQ anti-Semitism is just something that they said. I was wrong. Okay? I was wrong. Low IQ anti-Semitism is real. It's Dan Bilzerian. You know it. I know it. Pretty much the whole world knows it. There is such a thing as low IQ anti-Semitism.
Yeah, it's saying Jews killed God, Nick. That's the age-old, most low IQ anti-Semitism there is. Okay, and anybody saying that there's no such thing as a counterproductive low IQ anti-Semitism, it's indicative that they're low IQ anti-Semitism.
We have been seeing it. It has been out of control. It has been running rampant. And what do I mean by that? It's these people that all they know how to say is, it's the fucking Jews. That's all. It's like they're just pressing a button. They can't tell you anything about it. There's no depth. There's no complexity. There's no even real understanding. They don't know anything about anything. That's all they... Maybe Hitler is a good guy. A Holocaust joke. It's a fucking Jews. Hey, retard, it's a fucking Jew. I know.
How about they killed God? They worship the devil. We're the chosen people now, Nick. You don't really have much room to talk when you're promoting those
Dan,
typical tropes.
He calls me up on the phone. He tells me it's the Jews for 2 hours. I want to say, Dan, I know. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Nick Fuentes. I've been saying that for 10 years. I know. Every time he calls and I pick up the phone, he's telling me about how the communist commissars are Jewish.
He's like, hey, Nick, did you hear about the USS Liberty?
Dude, he's like, totally doing that.
Yeah.
Dan is literally like watching Rumble and Odyssey YouTube videos and then calling Nick afterwards and info dumping him to Nick as if Nick hasn't heard this stuff for fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
Got it. I know. He's telling me about how it's all of them. I know. He's telling me about how, Israel's causing all the wars and not... I know. Preaching to the choir. Got it. And
he's like, hey, Nick, do you know what the Talmud says about Jesus? You know it.
Wait.
Right?
So he says...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's telling us that the left is going to kill us, but now you're... Look, I mean, how much clearer can I make it? I've said it so many times. We are going Democrat in 2026. This is a midterm election year. Do you understand that? It means that every House seat is up for election and 1/3 of the Senate is up for election. The president is not up for election this year, Dan. Okay? Now, if Democrats win the House, then for the next 2 years, you'll have a Republican president, a Democrat House, and maybe a tie in the Senate. Maybe Republicans will maintain control. And the Supreme Court is favored for the conservatives. So what does that mean? It means that Democrats are not going to be able to do whatever they want. There's no scenario where that happens because of checks and balances.
Yeah, he wants to go Democrat because he wants to weaken the Republicans so that they could be taken over by America First groypers or something. That's his logic for, and it's like, are you just? They think the answer. They're mad. He's saying him or Spencer going to vote Democrat. Like, are you just supposed to vote Republican forever because they're the lesser of two evils, no matter how bad they screw you over? And you're never going to punish them and hold them accountable and ever threaten to even take away your vote. That's the way they're trying to put. Yeah, it's funny. Dan probably learned all this talking points from watching Nick, and then he wants to call Nick and like regurgitate all of the info back to him.
Yeah, it's so funny. I love this. Watching this is so great. But yeah, the what you said is true. Like this idea that I don't know. This is like a complicated idea. Like, look, even if you're someone who thinks like, oh, we have to make sure Republicans win because of X, Y, and Z, like, and we want our ideas to get inside the GOP. I actually don't think like Nick's strategy is a terrible way of doing that. It's almost like I talked to you a bit about this, but it's almost like the way to convince people and try to do this is like a good cop, bad cop. So if Nick's gonna play like the bad cop in this situation, and people like Captain Dreamer, maybe the Plant Trusters and these guys, they're gonna play good cop. Like, I don't know, they're gonna go to war with each other over this stuff. It's going to be like a whole Twitter drama for months up until the midterms. But I see both sides here. Like, I see both strategies, and I don't think that they're actually against each other, if that makes sense. There's some way of looking at it where they're both like helping each other, if that makes sense.
We got some breaking news out of the highly respected and reputable Daily Mail. Man. Breaking Daily news. Coke. FBI files reveal reports of, quote, 4-foot-tall beings emerging from UFOs.
Says to vote Dem. Meanwhile, Trump admin is rigging the state maps so Dems can't even win. Hilarious chain of events going on right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how that plays out. We'll see how that goes. It might be a too big to fail election, guys. It might not. I saw all that yesterday, the redistricting and gerrymandering stuff, and I saw this morning over my coffee the ruling in Virginia was overturned, things like that. Like, so I see what you guys mean. Like, but
Rick sent $5 all glory to Gaines, flex bicep emoji, praying gesture emoji.
I don't think that the numbers for like Trump's numbers are so bad that we still might see like Democrats winning and picking things up in ways that are unexpected because people are so mad at Trump. So we'll see how it goes. Because it could be the opposite. It could be that there's a huge drive down and turnout, and that Nick gets to claim that he did that, guys. Okay, so like even if that happened, right? Because he'll be able to point and say like, "Oh, look, this is what happens when you don't have my support," type of thing. So it's going to be about how it plays out. More than what actually happens, or what I guess, or what.
Yeah, it's like if the he's got issues with J.D. Vance and Peter Thiel and stuff, so he's like, I'm not supporting that. I forgot the point I was gonna make.
He really wants to like make way for like a new American Caesar. He said it on his show so many times. Like that's what he wants. He's trying to like summon that individual, and like the only way to summon an individual like that is through chaos. Like he sees that. That's like his plan. That's his strategy. It's like order through chaos kind of idea, and it makes sense like on paper. Like I understand it. I don't this isn't how I engage in politics as much anymore. I don't talk about this stuff as much anymore, but I at least understand what he's doing. So people that don't get that and they're like seething on the timeline and freaking out and calling him a fed, like you're just not going to make it for sure. Like you're absolutely not going to understand what's going on if you view the upcoming situation in that sort of lens. It's not going to be helpful.
Yeah, and if the Republicans all like denounce and gatekeep and Fed jacket him and everything, like he's supposed to say everybody support them as they're condemning and attacking and hating him, that would be stupid, just as stupid as like how he endorses the Catholic Church as the solution when they condemn him also.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Now he tells Dan that he is the movement. You have no army.
And numbnuts and all these other people, they just cannot even begin to understand anything that I just said because they do not care and they don't know the first thing about politics. So, enthusiasm is no substitute for cleverness, and that's really what they think. There are no participation trophies in this war, okay? Casey Push and every other loser, this long list of has been and never was failed candidates and influencers
Kanye?
and whoever. There
How about
are no
Kanye?
participation trophies. You do not get a blue ribbon for enthusiasm. There is no at least I tried. At least I did something. Hey, I don't know if it's going to work.
It's almost like he came to this conclusion
work.
through that happening, though, right? It's almost like he had to learn this the hard way through life. He had to learn to come to this position through the Kanye thing, if that makes sense. Like, I agree with you. I think that was a bad look back then. I thought it was goofy, and it was like a cultural play, and it helped him get to where he's at. So I can't knock it too hard. But that is almost like where he's at now, right? Is that he's come to this conclusion because all those things happened in the last 2 years. So that's how people actually legitimately grow. So I don't know. People call him flip flopper, but I don't know. It seems to me like it's authentic. I don't know. Maybe I'm just coping.
Didn't work. At least I did something. That's not good enough. That's not enough. It has to work. And for it to work, it has to make sense. And it might be convoluted, and it might be ambitious, and it might be a little bit too complicated for your small head to understand. But that's how it has to be if we want to win. Time to get fucking serious. I'm gonna run against Randy Fine. Dude, it's... Everybody that lives in your district is an old boomer evangelical. It just doesn't even make any sense. So
he's disgusted.
Dan can't even recite the talking points like Nick very well. There's mid-tier, low-level groypers who do a better job at articulating Nick or doing their impression of Nick. And like that at the ACU conference, there was people doing a better job doing that than Dan is. Dan is actually not good at it. You know what I mean? When I watched Dan go against Adam King, Adam King raped him, and then they posted that as if it was like a Dan W. Like look how many times Adam King lied, and Dan destroys Adam King. Like that's how they posted it. With anyone with a brain could see that Dan didn't know anything he was talking about. Neither did Adam King, but Dan really doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, they're like, we ran it through uncensored AI, and Adam lied about every single thing.
Yeah, that's what they did.
So apparently the New York Times sent a reporter to the AF United conference. Journalist at the conference. One attendee wearing a bright blue America First hat was worried he might be photographed at the event and draw Nick Fuentes' ire. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, imagine being in the audience.
Nick's gonna call me a chud. Yeah.
They all were on Twitter seeing it. You know what I mean? They almost have saw right away and knew it was gonna be what it was.
As one of the conference goer in his early 30s put it to me, it was an aura loss. Another sizing up of the crowd said, "Welcome to Chud Hell." New York Times, can they build America first without Nick Fuentes? A small group of candidates and influencers met to forge a shaky new political movement without its de facto leader and his groypers. Dangerfield with her new husband. Some of these young MAGA dissidents sipped Celsius and Monster energy drinks while others popped Zyn, scanning social media and monitoring group chats. Adderall appeared, dusted the ledge of a toilet paper dispenser. It could have been
my God. Whatever,
cocaine
dude.
also. Bulzarian called in. Tucker's brother called in. Thank you, Must6 Gorillion.
On Rumble. Come on, people. Let the go for Adam.
Thank you. What else do we have here? Many in the online criticism seemed to seep into the room. One far-right influencer in attendance who spoke on the panel that afternoon had posted earlier on X that she was convinced Mr. Fuentes was the only figure who could lead the movement. These groypers are a bunch of toxic soy losers, said one America First content creator who literally got woked out. He said in an interview, quote, literally, they're telling us you can't say America First because that's Nick's thing. They're all Jesus first, by the way. Same criticism for both of them. It's just so corny, dude. Still the specter of Fuentes loomed. One attendee wearing a bright blue America First hat. Okay, we saw that already. Also, where's the Dangerfield? Where's the quote where Dangerfield said, oh, dude, I thought there was another one where she said, oh, the claw. She gave him the claw. That's not good. Body language. She said, Nick's just a podcaster and they're doing something. That's what she said. They had 300 people watching on Rumble and like a small little room that barely was filled. That's funny, dude. This is such drama.
Tracks diverged, and honestly, it's a good thing. Honestly, it's a good thing. Let that be a magnet for every dummy. Let that be.
I found it.
Oh, nice.
As Miss Dangerfield scanned her social media mention, she suggested that a successful version of America First might not be one helmed by Mr. Fuentes. Instead, she offered it might be best embodied by figures like James Fishback, a long-shot candidate for governor in Florida. Wasn't he like a Zionist and might be Jewish? He was a Zionist like last year. Oh, and is going to get destroyed.
I think there's a lot of issues with him, yeah. But I think part of what they're doing is they're trying to like, it's almost like a training. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I got a lot of mixed opinions of that, and I don't really know how it's gonna go down. We'll have to see. But yeah, if you guys don't really know, he did an interview with Beardson where Beardson like really tried to like bully him and shake him down and try to figure out what happened. And if you watch that, I do think that there's like a way that you can like look at Fishback and see like, oh, I can see how somebody can become the way he is now from the Barry Weiss thing. But at the same time, like I don't know, like I just distrust the people who were red-pilled after 10/7. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that putting people like that in front of things is always a great idea either. Like, there's a lot of problems with that.
Yeah.
And I think
it's a little annoying having people come in, you know, people that have been doing this a long time, and somebody comes in and now they think they're in charge, they know best, they're running the show, they have the authority, they can say what's what and who's who. It's a little annoying from the newbies. Dangerfield, who the Australian accent girl that hosted the event, says she loves Nick and respects Nick, quote, but there is a difference between podcasting and doing something. Nick's had conferences too. Lots of people have had conferences. Does she think she's the first person to put together some conference that was a train wreck, by the way?
They're trying to hijack the America First movement. I think all these actors are subverters.
Yeah, well, Nick doesn't own the idea of like being America first over Israel, but certainly they are trying to, you know, take the mantle.
Yeah, they're trying to graft themselves into what is ultimately like his thing. Like that is what they're trying to do.
6 Gorillion sent $5 on Rumble. I used to hate cats, but after my wife's dachshund and all of the urine and feces everywhere, I'd prefer 3 cats.
What was I gonna say? I don't know if people have seen on the timeline. I tweeted it out the other day, but like, it's funny. You know, we posted or you watched the Vilify video. I think kind of what happened here is, if you guys remember last month, Amy Vilify made a video kind of like making fun of Amy a little bit, and she had like this crash out response to it where she was like answering one of these meme videos. Like, imagine making a response video to one of Vilify's videos, taking it like extremely seriously. And in that video, the premise was like she's just a groypet that's married to a former Gooner America First guy, and that was like the premise of it. And I think so. She started planning it like a couple of days or a week after that happened, and I think that basically, you know, it's the magic Vilify theory. I think that he essentially kind of accidentally spawned this whole thing, because out of that idea that she was just this groypet who wasn't doing anything, she felt like, oh, I'll show them I'm not just some groypet or whatever. I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna put on my own conference.
Anonymous sent $5.
Oh, sorry, Mike's over here. Thank you, Anonymous. All right, let's finish this clip, and I think I got to get the cat out to the girls. She might need to go to the bathroom.
Be a magnet for every dummy, every numbnuts, every low IQ person, everybody that just wants to do something. Let that be a magnet for all of the refuse and the lumpen, and let this be a magnet for the elite human capital, for people that want to think deeply about these problems. You don't even have to agree with me necessarily, but we do need to be on the same page that we're going to need a big picture. We're going to need a big idea. We're going to need a better mental model of the world than whatever is going on that side, okay? So it's fine. So honestly, it's fine. And that's the big idea. That's been the big idea. I've been saying it for a long time.
We need to gather the gamers, Adam. That's what we need to do. We need to gather all the smart people.
We gotta go against Trump. Nobody wanted to go there.
Ready to get serious.
They were too late. And now here I am saying the same thing. I'm like, we got to up the ante. We got to go Democrat. We got to break the mold, break that taboo. We got to do it just once.
Newsom.
Once again, people are saying, oh, it's too far. Oh, it's too complicated. Oh, I don't get it.
Newsom, dark horse. Spencer Pratt for president.
But here's the thing.
I'm joking.
I let the predictions do the talking. I'm not going to argue anymore. I'm not.
Yeah, calling Groyper's elite human capital is hilarious.
I'm not going to make the case anymore. I've made the case. And here's the good thing about this show. I always have my record. So
that might be true, but there are some in power for sure that are working for the admin. To what degree that's useful, who knows? I guess it's probably on a case-by-case basis. Is getting the coffee for one of these people, like, is that going to actually lead to power? Well, it could. So we'll see how it goes. But there are people in DC that are following Nick. It's no joke. It is a problem. And in TPUSA and all these places, these guys do see it as a problem. So, to what degree this might be some sort of like coordinated thing, that this is 100% what they're trying to do with Nick, which is grafting into his thing, taking his thing over, because they want anything that anybody else other than Nick at the helm of this thing, because they understand that he has the intelligence and authenticity, in my view. That's how they see him.
They're all watching the clips, even people that hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tucker attacks him in his latest interview now with the YouTuber Tyler Oliveira that went into the Orthodox community. He brought up Nick again and attacks him. Let's see this.
So, but what? And then Nick Fuentes, or Fuentes is only about Fuentes, but at some point there's going to be someone who is not just about himself, who actually wants to build a political movement that is way more radical than the Republican Party, and that person is going to be huge among your generation. Is that a fair?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know the full political belief of. I don't know all the beliefs, Fuentes has, for example, but I think he's right about that young men are disaffected.
I'm not attacking Fuentes. I'm just saying, like, Fuentes is only about Fuentes or whatever.
I mean, I don't know his ambitions.
Is ultimately he talks about
he's
himself.
He's an unavoidable,
Dude, Tucker's kind of like...
He's such a pussy.
Fuentes is really rent-free. Yeah, he says it and he walks it back immediately.
Total pussy.
Yeah, for Nick being irrelevant, Tucker sure talks about him a lot.
Fuentes is only about Fuentes or whatever.
I mean, I don't know his ambitions.
Is ultimately he talks about
he's
himself.
He's an unavoidable,
but he makes points that are true.
Absolutely.
A lot of them.
For sure.
And he is being,
and I think it's points that ring true for a non-radical or someone who is...
They ring true for me. That's why I interviewed him.
Yeah,
I don't agree with a lot of it. I told him I didn't. But in general, his critique that the whites are shafted...
For sure.
And that this Israel relationship is really sick.
And that everyone basically that voted for Trump is seemingly not getting anything to ask for.
Got it. I agree with all of that. So that's all real. My only point is, people look at Fuentes and they're like, oh, you're the scariest thing that could happen.
Absolutely
no.
not. Yeah.
That's my point.
I don't know where it goes, right? The energy has to go
That's interesting.
somewhere, right?
Do you remember, hold on, do you remember what Nick said this when he did his last thing with Spencer? He said that Tucker asked about Spencer. So is that who he's alluding to there?
Did he?
Yeah. Nick said that Tucker asked him about Spencer.
Do mine.
So he's saying like, there could be darker people out there that don't want to do the Christian thing. Is kind of what he's saying there, right? Like, I don't know necessarily. Maybe he wasn't thinking that consciously.
Tucker's going to say Spencer is handling Nick. I think it's true. Spencer Anon. Yeah, we're Spencer Anons.
Oh, right. No, I just mean like in general, like he basically what I think Tucker was alluding to there wasn't necessarily Spencer himself, but what he's saying there is that there's people out there who are going to see this race issue, and they're going to see this Israel issue, and they're not going to be beholden to like the Abrahamic worldview, and he sees that as evil. He sees that as a problem, and that's what he's saying. He's saying, it's going to be so much worse. We haven't seen anything, something way worse than Nick can come. And Nick, I think, sees that same thing, right? So it's interesting.
For that is, I'll do my thing. Let's just go our separate ways, and let's just see what happens. Let's just see where we are in a couple of years. That's all I'm going to say. Let's just see what happens in 2028. And if you're confident, then you got nothing to worry about. That's the difference. I always put my money where my mouth is. I always go all in, and I am always vindicated. Always. Every single time. So I'm done, no more pearls before swine. I'm trying to explain this.
Every single time? Were you vindicated on Kanye? Or all your support for Trump for years? Or Ali Akbar? Vindicated every single time. Not exactly, dude.
Somebody that doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see where we are in a couple of years. People say, you think this mythical dark horse is going to run and blah, blah. Let's just see what happens. Okay? Let's just see what happens. You and what army? You and what army? Of OnlyFans thoughts? That's the difference. I'm still people.
Third worlders.
Movement. People can say whatever they want.
Dude, Dan has a Pakistani, Armenian, Muslim army, Nick. Don't you know that?
This is still the only movement. Always has been, is, always will be. This is the America First movement. Everybody knows that. You have no army. You have nothing. You have no ideas. You have nothing. You are nothing. So anyway.
You are nothing, he says to Dan. Okay, so we got Arvel's criticism too. It's a little long-winded though. Not sure if I want to do the whole thing. Leonarda Joni, the comedian woman, is also attacking Nick as well.
Her saying that the Grootberg curse is a boomerang and it's gonna come back around is just remember that these people are saying this, guys. Get the screenshots, remember this, and just remember what I said. Do not take the bait here and think that these guys are gonna win.
Maxed Out Bear sent $10 on Rumble. Happy Friday.
Thank you, Maxed Out Bear. Yeah, Sneeko, that's another one. Are you vindicated on Sneeko?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Because I don't know. From Nick's point of view, I don't know. We'll see. Because Sneeko, if without Sneeko, would Nick even be a household name? Nick was in the dark ages of Cozy before Sneeko. You know what I mean? So from my point of view, yeah, there's issues with Sneeko, and those two have had a falling out from what I can tell, and there's all sorts of issues there, and I wouldn't want to ally with Sneeko politically, but at the same time, from Nick's point of view, that did help him. That did work. That was a stepping stone to where he's at now. So,
yeah, that was the first domino of the generational run. Was Sneeko.
Yeah. So I don't know. So when people say to Nick, oh, well, what about Sneeko? Did that work out? I don't think that's a good argument. That's all I would say. You know what I mean? I don't. There's probably better things that you could point to and better critiques that are better, I guess.
It worked out for Nick in his growth, but as a fellow influencer, being vindicated on teaming up with him, not a success story. Sneeko sucks. That's the point I'm saying. Sneeko sucks.
Tax a tax base from the Mexicans I grew up with. He already said that. I never said that until just now, but now it has gone far enough.
Hold on, I want to see
open-minded people coming in this late in the game. So we're not really desperately in need of Nick's services anymore. And if he's going to disrespect people like me or Casey Push or Thomas Massey, actual white Americans who stand up for our well-being and put themselves on the line, then he does not deserve our support. You should not support him. He should be, at this point, marginalized, sidelined. He told everyone not to support me. Right? He already said that. I never said that until just now. But now it has gone far enough. This guy has to go from our circles. He can go be a Democrat. He can go defect I guess, Richard Spencer. And that's what it is. All right? When I was actually there with them and he made that remark about why can't the Mexicans build these things.
No, guys, I didn't call him. That was a joke.
The kind of underlying, seething, subtly vicious racial animus that I got from the Mexicans I grew up with. He's not different than them. That is still in his blood, and he will not be on our side. Why would you think, when he's in a position...
Blood enemy, Nick Fuentes.
...turn around and start prioritizing the interests of ordinary white people? He'll never do it. He disdains ordinary white people. So, I'm giving up on him. You should give up on him.
Calling Nick a Mexican
thank you to the guy who called me
worked.
And basically emboldened me to make these remarks, to say this about him. because I'm sick of it. It's
Why would
really
you say that?
holding back our discourse. We need organization. We need altruism. We need self-sacrifice. We need courage. We need true virtue, not this cowardly, Machiavellian, rhetorician's tricks bullshit that we're getting from Nick Fuentes.
Nick is bullshit, though. He's right about that.
I think it's both. I think you have to have both, honestly. I think you have to have both things. It's this weird paradox where it's like you have to have like the retard wrangler. I mean, like I have described this before, but you know, there is a power to what Nick is doing, and like he has what he's doing his thing, and I disagree with parts of it, but you know, I don't think it's like some like either or here, guys. Like you can do the return to the land while also doing the infiltrating, and like I don't know, at this point I don't know. It's a complicated thing.
So here's Dasha is one of her names. What is her name? I'm forgetting. Red Scare.
Yeah, the Red Scare girls.
These Red Scare podcasters, aren't they like? I've heard leftist. I've heard Peter Thiel, right? Isn't that's what Basil says, right? They're Peter Thiel.
Yeah, they're like
something.
associated in that verse, and like they're part of that like social group in New York City, and you know,
I never heard of them until Nick was on her show. That was the first time I heard of them. Actually,
she was originally popularized from the clip you might remember from a girl in like a sailor's outfit where somebody came up and asked her like, "Why are you supporting Bernie Sanders?" Do you remember? And she was like, "I just want healthcare, man." Like, you know what I mean?
I didn't realize that's her, dude. I had no idea that was her.
I knew about her from before that, I think, but that's when she really popped off, I would say. But
she's an actress too. She was in the news. She was an actress, and she got fired from some movie because she interviewed Fuentes.
Yeah. There was a whole thing there. She had these clips where she's in some role where she's like, "Oh, that's Ghislaine Maxwell," and it's like this whole meme clip and stuff like that. And she's a bit of a meme. She's an Orthodox Christian as well, and I heard her talk about I think she's Orthodox. Whatever. I heard her debate or talk with Jay before. Maybe she's not Orthodox. Maybe I'm misremembering who's Orthodox. But regardless, I heard her talk with Jay before about the Christianity stuff.
I think it's totally hypocritical. When I was reading the remarks that Tucker made in his New York Times interview where he talks about how he regretted having Fuentes on, and to me it was kind of like sour grapes, even though I agreed with like other parts of the interview, because he says that the reason he regrets it is because it was a distraction from these other bigger issues. The problems that are facing us are primarily economic, not like demographic in nature. And I think he regrets it because, you know, let's face it, Nick Fuentes is much more popular among younger people. He really owned Tucker. He'll own anybody. And it's his moment now. He's ascendant. But I don't find anything controversial about even his most
Again, RT covering. Isn't this odd? RT is just keeping up with every little clip of all this drama.
Somebody said in the chat that she's Eastern Catholic, a schismatic sect of the Catholic Church who rejects Vatican II. That's interesting. So I think, that checks out, because that's why I was second guessing myself, because I think she's part of this New York City trad cath clique, if that's like that's a good way to describe.
And we're talking about this one, by the way. Do you know anything about this one?
I think she's ethnically Jewish, isn't she? I don't know too much about her.
Like it.
I don't know too much about these people. This is like a thing that I just never paid attention to much, but all my friends and people that I pay attention to, they dislike these guys. So I don't know all the lore. Maybe you have like something like Basil come on and tell you the lore or something like that about these guys. But
I just looked them up on YouTube. Let's see how many followers they have on YouTube. Okay, 7,000 followers.
Meant as a half joke, and it's irrelevant whether he believes them or not. And I think that the liberal media is totally like complicit in it because they are fascinated by him.
Somebody just said she's part of the Dime Square Teal Network stuff. That's my understanding.
It feeds clicks.
Yeah. They always describe him as far right, which I'm like, I'm not sure that's right, but I understand why they're doing it.
Well,
Girl talk.
I just wouldn't be comfortable like giving like okay, they did this and that, and then because a lot of the things I see them accused of and see things that they're linked to, I'm not like the expert on these things. Like I don't like I am on things that I read about the Bible or other things. I don't like to speak about those guys if I don't know too much about them.
So now we have Shabbos Kestenbaum Ami, the comedian impressionist guy, and former CEO and founder of Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, talking about Nick. Listen to what they say here.
Second fun. Yeah, it's I think this is right. Plus, Nick Fuentes is hilarious. I mean, that's the other thing. Those guys seem like they're the only guys having any fun.
Right.
Whenever anybody.
Fun.
Yeah, well,
I'm having
We have fun. Hold on.
He once said that just
We have
saying
fun.
the name Shabbos Kestabem sounds like a hate
Hasn't
crime,
he
which
seen
admittedly
Rasta
is very-
Jesus?
It's
Like, come on.
very
Yeah.
He's the
We're having
funniest guy
fun.
in media.
Okay, Jeremy. Jeremy's sword game, Viking sword game. Bruh.
Dude, they are cooked. They have lost all their money in laying people off, like 40 to 60% of their staff. Like they invested
He's not
all that
there
money.
anymore. He left. He left.
I know.
Daily Wire.
I got it. I'm just saying, like, the Daily Wire enterprise itself is totally, like, the whole like the company and everything, and it's fucked because he used to. I mean, he did this like autistic movie thing. Like, they're gonna make children's shows and they're gonna make a whole series and seasons, like their own Game of Thrones and all these other things. These things were obviously never gonna break even, right? Like, I can just. Whoever decided this, like, is totally delusional.
Noah Hyde Film Studios. Noah Hyde Productions.
That's basically what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They really Christianized the.
Candace Owens brought him down, and Ben Shapiro on
Arthurian
October
legend.
7th was the end.
Like the Arthurian legend itself does have like Christian elements, but they really lean into it in their show. I watched a little bit of it, and they really go hard on it.
I guess the question too is like, what are you gonna?
Yeah, it's
okay. Jews glazing Nick Fuentes. Who these jiggas glazing Nick Fuentes?
But I said, look, Netanyahu hates you. You know that. They don't like each other at all. The people pushing you toward this would include Rupert Murdoch, who despises you. Trump knows that, of course. Mark Thiessen has always hated you. Ben Shapiro, they hate you. Mark Levin hates you, has always hated you.
Yes.
The people pushing you to, I said this right to his face, the people pushing you to do this want to destroy you, and they're doing it on behalf of Israel, whose goals include getting the United States out of the Middle East. They don't want the U.S. in the Gulf because it strengthens the Gulf
They don't like our
state.
friendships there.
They don't like our friendships there at all because Qatar and UAE and Saudi, but also Bahrain, Oman, and Kuwait. But those
It's crazy he said this to Trump and to his
are
face.
a massive rival to regional hegemony. You can't run the Middle East with strong Gulf states. And so they want the U.S. out. Israel wants the U.S. out of the Middle East, and they want to degrade those Gulf states. And I said that right to his face. And he said, yeah, I know.
He knows. Okay, then. See Through It. I always get you guys mixed up. See Through It All says Nick is the perfect stereotype for critics to paint all pushback as lonely doomers.
And do what? Honestly, if you weren't on your phone all the time, what would you even be doing? Can anybody answer me that? What even is there to do? People say go touch grass. What actually does that mean? What are we supposed to do all the time? What am I supposed to do? Go eat at a restaurant and then what? Come home? I'm gonna get in my car, drive to a restaurant, eat at a restaurant, and then go home, and then what? Go shopping? What am I gonna do? Go to the mall? Go park in the parking lot at the mall, walk around the mall, look at the products, buy clothes, and then what? Go home? What is there even really to do? Go to a bar? Go to the club? When? On the weekend?
Dude,
And
Nick
do
is drowning. Talk about nihilist. What's the point of even living, bro?
What?
Just want to quit my show.
Music's too loud, stand around. I mean, what is there even really to do? People say go travel.
What's
They
the
say
point of
go to
life
Italy,
even?
They say go to Japan, they say, and do what? Join all those other people on the other side of the world doing exactly the same thing that you're doing at home, going out to eat, shopping, looking at the sights, the attractions.
Yeah.
And then what? Come home? Like, you know, so honestly, doom scrolling is the new meta. Doom scrolling is actually the best use of your time. People say gaming, doom scrolling.
Dude, he's He's directing his cult to do nothing but create clips for him, share, post, troll, and send him super chats. That's how you win. Don't have your own lives. Who was it that was speaking out? Oh, Arvel. He said, like, Nick was always really scared that his audience outgrows him, or they grow up and mature, or that they leave him and follow BAP. That's what Arvel was saying.
Say you're wasting your life looking at your phone. It's like, well, at least my phone is interesting.
But being on the top of the mountain, being the king, it's almost leads you to like paranoia, where you think everybody is out to get you. Everybody's ready to stab you on the back. Everybody's coming for your throne and your crown. I think he's got those type of vibes, and it leads to insecurity and paranoia that
what else would I be
going to
doing?
be taken
Going
away
looking
from
at
you.
Stuff outside. What else would I be doing?
All right. How about the Elijah Schaffer update? He's back, and he is going to become the new America First version of Mossad and an authority in the movement. Declaring himself the authority. Let's hear it.
Wow, that's crazy. I thought Milo was already the America First Mossad. Like, dude, what the hell? Trying to take Milo's spot.
I'm going to have to become a more militant voice in the movement. And I'm going to have to become more of an authority. I'm going to have to just kind of put my foot down now.
I'm going to be the authority and militant voice in the movement.
Dude, you've gone over on your show like what he's accused of, right? It's totally fucked.
What? Drugs?
In the court
alcohol?
documents?
Drugs and alcohol?
An encounter with an underage person.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
His wife said that in the docs?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, she said that. His wife said that he told her.
Oh, right. When he was at the youth group at the church. Right.
Yeah. Like it happened a long time ago, I guess. But yeah, she said that. It's part of the court documents, so it's like all alleged. It's all from her point of view. But yeah, that's in there. I mean, and I don't know. I kind of believe. I think it's probably true, just based on what I read.
He's like, guys, I've been thinking about it, and I need to be the militant authority in the movement.
And I'm not going to let another person cross me. You cross me, I'm going to fuck you the fuck up. And I already have a list of people, and I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to fuck your shit up. I'm going to fuck the living shit out of your fucking stupid ass little lives, okay? And not incriminate myself. I'm not going to tell you who's on that list. But over the next several years, it could be 5 years from now, your shit's going to get fucking rocked. Okay?
Yeah, and
your shit's going to get rocked, and like I'm telling you, like one person.
He's like, I'm gonna rape your anus and leaving a gaping hole. Okay, you're gonna get fucked.
Person who crossed.
This is what this sounds like to me.
I got their baby daddy to kick them out of the house and break up with them because they crossed me. I will fuck you. I will ruin your life for crossing me. And I'm sorry I didn't get even with people. And you might not know it's me.
Christian, by the way.
Know it's me. And if I do a good job, you won't know it's me. But your shit's gonna get fucked up, and I'm gonna make sure that it hurts. Okay?
Christian morals and ethics, by the way.
I'm gonna make sure that it's
Yeah,
painful.
if not the Bible, we wouldn't know how to act.
Yeah.
Of course, talking about hypothetically of here. Of course, we're talking about in the legal bounds. We're not legal. Talking about legal stuff here.
Yeah.
You got more.
Talks like a fag too.
Who said that? All right, here's the other one.
Is so stupid.
Elijah has announced that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Elijah has announced that he and Nick Fuentes are planning a conference in Texas this summer and have already funding for it. Who keeps funding Elijah Schaffer? Jeez. Will we actually see this event happen, or is another Elijah Schaffer scam?
I was at the 3,000. Also, guys, we're having a conference here, so you guys know. You guys will have a chance for tickets. They will cost money, though, but we're doing a White is Right conference at my friend's ranch, that one that I was at, the 3,000 acres. We're doing a day here today. That we're doing basically Nick Fuentes, Arval, Jake Shields, myself, Hermes, that guy from the...
When did he record this? I don't think that's going to be happening. This is out today?
Yeah, apparently.
The White is Right conference? Dude, here's our new Hyperborean Aryan leader with the new hair, the new bleached hair. Which people are speculating he did because he had to take a court-mandated drug test because of his divorce proceedings. So he tried to dye his hair to mask the drug use. but they took his fingernail instead, so he's going to be...
The other white movement, all these people, we're going to be doing like a video conference from this house. And people are going to be able to come join, and then we're going to do a big party and a live event on my friend's private property. Only like real niggas can come. And it's going to be like our own little CPAC that we're going to be doing later in the next few months. We already got some funding for it, so it's kind of cool.
You know,
also, guys, we're having
that was one of the benefits of COVID. It basically like put a rest to all this. Like, yes, it made everyone online and there was issues there, but like this whole debate was going for so long, and then COVID came around and it kind of like put that to rest for some time, and now it's like coming back. You know what I mean? Because you know, you can just do your own events again. It's kind of funny.
Speaking of events, we have a leaked, I think this is leaked, hold on, new footage from the Fire Fest. They're calling it the Anti-Semitic Fire Fest of Chaos Agent Red Pill Rabbit trolling retards before telling them to take Israel's money. Does he call Evan Kilgore a Fed or a fag?
Or when. Put it into perspective. As soon as I saw that, I was like, you know what? He's right. I was in Israel. I went with Turing home to Israel. I've been on the indoctrination floor. I'm not a great committee. I was there in Israel. I'm not a Fed. I'm just.
I think you
can't hear you through your mask, bro.
How crazy is that though, too? That guy, that Kilgore, was doing all that shit. He's been doing all that shit. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yep.
Get in line.
Yeah, seriously. Sit down and shut up. Oh, you were taking pro-Israel trips with TPUSA and a Christian Zionist a couple years ago? Well, shut up and sit down then.
Yeah.
We don't care what you have
book,
to say.
Bitch.
Yeah. Oh, you're a dumb idiot? All right. We don't take you seriously.
personally to not like what Israel been doing. I mean, we're all gonna fucking die in Israel at some point. So
I think what.
I wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah.
All Americans are being fucked by Israel.
Very true. Effective for you.
I saw that already.
That was one of the clips that I played.
That's enough of that, yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to have to save the Christian apologetics for another show. We're at 2.5 hours, and we're 10 shekels away from the goal. We got a big show. Maybe if we hit the goal, I will do a show. Actually, I don't know about that. I don't want to make any promises about Sunday. But, oh, yeah, do you see the... What?
Do you still have that clip from, we don't have to play it now, but you still have that clip from, I think it's that, it was one of the not apologists. It's one of the ones that I had shared a couple days ago. I'll look for it and make sure you get it.
This one? God Fears.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch it right now.
Yeah, we'll do a Christian question show next week. We got some rabbis. We got some...
You're going to like that one.
Shmooly. But this is some news. I guess there's talk about hantavirus infections. And it's in some X-Files movie. It's related to COVID and the vaccine, right? There's a lot of talk about some new pandemic that might be starting. There's some weird stuff going on. We'll cover that. Maybe there'll be some more news. I got to run right now, actually. So Thank you, Amalek, for joining. Guys, 10 shekels away from hearing the new Hit the Goal soundbite from the soundboard. Are you out there? Earth 2 audience. There's the goal from Big Mama. Let's go.
Smash the goal. Love you guys.
Love you, Big Mama. That is really weird. Now my goal thing has disappeared. Here it is. All right, here we go. Johan also.
Thanks for the show.
Oh, that's why the goal's not coming. Here we go. Let's go. We did it. Friday night goal. Thank you, guys. Was that not worth it?
That's awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Thank y'all. Come again.
All right, big celebration. You guys know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, clip the show, sign up for Substack, Subscribe Star, follow Amalek on Twitter, and you guys have a nice weekend. Shabbat Shalom to all the Jewish hate watchers out there. And I will see you guys again very soon. Thank you, Amalek, for joining. Thank you, Mark.
Yep, have a good one, guys.
You guys stay safe. Go to the gym.
Have a great weekend.
A goal. Take care, guys. Hey, let's take us into the weekend with a little high in Hyperborea with Rastafari, Hyperborean Jesus. You guys take care.
Yeshua, Rasta King Selassie was Jesus in blackface, hiding from Babylon. Roman oppressors never knew he didn't die on the cross. He escaped to Jamaica. On 420, Yeshua smokes the herbal chalice
with the talking donkey.
Hitler's birthday. Christ gonna get high in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash down Babylon. Yeshua was a Rasta. His eyes are blue and he's not a Jew. Yeshua was a Rasta. He's as blonde as the Lebanese ash he smokes. Yeshua was a Rasta. His pure iron DNA is the most potent strain the world has ever seen. Christ gonna get high in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash down Babylon. Yeshua was a Rasta. He smokes cross-shaped joints every day. Yeshua was a Rasta. He's not brown like hash, he's white like deity diamond. Was a Rasta. He would smoke hookah on a donkey and teach from the Torah like a true Hyperborean or Rasta man. Christ gonna get high in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash down Babylon. Yeshua was a Rasta. His eyes are blue and he's not a Jew. Yeshua was a Rasta. He's as blonde as the Lebanese ash he smoke. Yeshua was a Rasta. His pure iron DNA is the most potent strain the world has ever seen. Christ gonna get high in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash